This page is the front cover of Dreamcast Magazine. The cover highlights a DC license vs Dream Magazine present contest and announces New Year's gift plans. Featured games include Fighter Pro Wrestling Ring, Biohazard Code, Veronica Complete Edition, known internationally as Resident Evil Code, Veronica, Eve Zero Complete Edition, Battle Hipster, Boku Doraemon, Golf Oshio, Yo 2 Aratanaru Chosen, Angel Present, and 100 Swords. The cover also mentions reader rankings for all Dreamcast titles and lists games with related articles such as Saskatsuku Tokudai Gao J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, a J-League Pro Soccer Club simulation game, Gigawing 2, Gunspike, Cardcaptor Sakura Tomoyo no Video Daisakusen, a video game based on the Cardcaptor Sakura anime, Daytona USA 2001, Guilty Gear X, and Moero, Justice Gakuen, known as Project Justice, internationally. The cover promotes game information from GameSpot Japan and features a special article on Phantasy Star Online with Sonic Team. This page is the contents page of Dreamcast Magazine, highlighting several articles and features. There's a DC license vs Dream Magazine present contest and the final round of New Year's gift giveaways. The magazine includes a Dream Magazine Y Q&A section, a special feature on Phantasy Star Online, and Capcom matching service support for games like Supersonic Battle, Street Fighter 03, and Super Street Fighter 2X. Other articles cover Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Sakura Century, Cosmic Smash, Fighting Vipers 2, Fire Pro Wrestling D, Golf Shio Yo 2, Eve Zero Complete Edition, Battle Hipster, Boku Doraemon, and Resident Evil Code, Veronica Complete Edition. This page from Dreamcast Magazine showcases Dreamcast hot information and the Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide, previewing new and released titles. The hot information section lists games such as 100 Swords, Eldorado Gate Volume 3, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, and Arrow Dancing It, alongside Japanly releases like The Psychological Game, Angel Present, and West Wind Rhapsody. The complete guide highlights titles like Gigawing 2, Daytona USA 2001, Gunspike, Guilty Gear X, and Project Justice, Rival Schools 2, as well as Japan exclusives such as Sakatsuku Special Edition J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru, and Cardcaptor Sakura, Tomoyo's Video Great Strategy. Additionally, the page details regular magazine features including weekly news, data station, game schedules, reader reviews, columns from different authors, Comic Wonderland, and serialized columns covering varied topics, from communication and gaming culture to arcade updates and weekly horoscopes. The autumn release of the Xbox, revealed at CES, is described as a large, black console with impressive specs. It boasts a 733 MHz Intel processor, an NVIDIA-developed graphics chip, 64 MB RAM, and an 8 GB hard drive. Key features include a user-friendly design with front controller ports and rear broadband ports, plus 2 triggers and 2 slots on the controller. Early showcase games include Malice, A Dark and Comic Tale, and Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. While the demo represents about 50% of the final product, around 15 to 20 launch titles are planned, prioritizing quality. The article also includes Dreamcast-related news like the Xbox design reveal, Shenmue Awards, and Sega's Java game, Sonic Cafe, among others. It emphasizes Xbox's online gaming capabilities, including dedicated server usage. The next page of Dreamcast Magazine features several news snippets. Shenmue for Dreamcast and Dragon Quest V 2 on PlayStation have both been recognized at the annual Culture Agency Media Arts Festival, winning awards for their digital artistry. Sega is also launching Sonic Cafe for mobile phones, a Java-based content service initially featuring titles like Choo Choo Rocket, Choo Choo Edit It, and Samba de Amigo. It will be available for a monthly fee and is launching on January 18th. For Dreamcast owners, there's an announcement for a Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000 online tournament scheduled for January 27th. It is mentioned that previous tournaments were very popular, and this one is also expected to be highly competitive, with a limit of 128 players. There's also another online event called Lotteria Valentine Cup for online fishing games, involving titles like Atsumare, Guru Guru Onsen, and Sega Marine Fishing. This event appears to be Valentine's themed, with prizes including chocolate from Latte. Finally, in the GameSpot section, the focus is on the Xbox and Bill Gates' presentation at CES. The top 5 news stories of the week include the Xbox design reveal, Bill Gates' keynote at CES, Dragon Quest V 2 hitting 4 million sales, the new Virtua Fighter game on NAOMI 2 arcade hardware, and the NUON DVD-BASED gaming system debuting at CES. Several gaming events and releases are announced. Sega AM2 and CRI will unveil VFX Temporary on Naomi 2 hardware at the AOU Amusement Expo at Makuhari Messe on February 23-24. The Guilty Gear Festival 2001 Spring, featuring the Guilty Gear X Cup Finals, a cosplay contest, and merchandise, is slated for February 11th at Ikebukuro Sunshine City. The Game Boy Advance launches March 21st in various colors with accessories. Buyers of the mobile adapter GB can enter a lottery to win a signed baseball. The Hell Sign. The Heisei Mahjong Battle Dreamcast Tournament takes place January 25th. Lastly, Derby Owners Club's national tournament has qualifiers starting January 27th and culminating in finals on March 20th. The page also includes a Joyopolis access guide. This page highlights several items, including the opening of the INTI Shibuya Internet Cafe, located in the basement floor of the AM facility, INTI Shibuya, operated by Namco in Tokyo. It boasts 40 computers and a comfortable 1.5 megabits per second connection. There's also information about Fighting Spirit Legend I, which is launching on NTT Docomo's iMode service on January 22nd. This wrestling game lets players become rookie wrestlers and aim to defeat real-life wrestlers. A Goods and Presents section announces a giveaway of Cable Pack cable organizers from Konami to 3 lucky winners. The Dreamcast Recommended Events This Week section lists events from January 19th to 25th, including the 13th Next Generation World Hobby Fair, Fukuoka, at Fukuoka Dome on January 21st. The Treasure Collection Market 12 event at Tokyo Big Sight on January 21st, and the Table Coordinate Night Fair 2001 at Osaka Dome, also on January 21st Street. Lastly, a spot selection section promotes the movie Big Mama's House. There's a preview event scheduled for February 15th at Nitu Hall in Tokyo, and readers are invited to apply by sending a postcard by January 31st. This page is an advert for the Dreamcast Magazine, GD Volume .10, which is touted as the strongest trial version ever for the 21st century. It's scheduled for release on January 26th, Friday, and priced at 790 yen. The GDROM includes a range of playable demos and video content. Featured on the disc are Shenmue 2. This disc contains the latest video footage of the highly anticipated sequel, 100 Swords. Published by Sega, this title is showcased with screenshots. It seems to be a strategy game with many units on screen. Ultimate Fighting Championship. Capcom's fighting game is also featured, with screenshots depicting cage fighting action. Arrowed. CRI's Flight Simulator has screenshots included, likely showing off aerial combat. Battle Beaster. From Studio Wonder Effect, screenshots indicate monster battles with player stats and meters. Sega. Published by Sega/Hitmaker. Eldorado Gate. Capcom's RPG is included, with screenshots showing a party exploring a dungeon-like area. The advert emphasizes experiencing all of this content with your own eyes. Here are the top 10 Dreamcast software sales, according to the Dreamcast Weekly Data Station. J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru 2, a soccer simulation game, leads the pack. Following are Phantasy Star Online, Detective Gentleman Dash, Guilty Gear X, and Card Captor Sakura. Tomoyo's Video Daisakusen. Rounding out the list are Moero, Justice Gakuen, Gunspike, The Last Blade 2 Final Edition, Daytona USA 2001, and Never 7, The End of Infinity. The list includes a variety of genres, from soccer simulations and online RPGs to fighting games and racing titles, each with accompanying screenshots. The Dreamcast Magazine's reader-voted Top 30 Anticipated Titles list reveals excitement for upcoming releases. Sakura Wars 3, Is Paris Burning?, an adventure game, tops the chart, with a confirmed March 22nd release and a limited edition planned. Shenmue 2, a Sega title, takes second place, with its release date still pending, though The movie showcasing gameplay footage has been released. Sonic Adventure 2 secures the third spot, promising a new action-adventure experience in 2001, developed with 10 years of technology. The weekly pickup highlights Fire Pro Wrestling D, a wrestling game with online play slated for a March 1st release. The list also includes titles like EVE Zero, Sega, and Resident Evil Code Veronica Complete Edition. The magazine is packed with screenshots, building anticipation for these Dreamcast games. This page highlights 2 game rankings and weekly featured titles. The first, the top 20 most anticipated ports for the Dreamcast, is topped by Air and Knights, with several other popular titles like The King of Fighters 2000 and Shining Force series also featured. The second is the top 15 video game income ranking for arcade games, where Derby Owners Club 2000 is at the top, followed by Virtua Fighter 3 TB and Virtua Striker 2 Ver.2000. The weekly pickup features 2 NAOMI arcade games. Cosmic Smash, a new Sensation sports game, is coming soon with a January release and displays a block-breaking gameplay guide. Shaka to Tambourine, a rhythm action game, is also highlighted. It's described as easy to play by shaking a tambourine, features hit songs, and offers 2-player gameplay. The Dreamcast release schedule outlines software and hardware launches. January 2001 saw games like Ultimate Fighting Championship. February featured titles such as Street Fighter 03, Saikyoryu Dojo. March presented a large selection, including Fire Pro Wrestling D, Ellaman's 24 Hours, Biohazard Code, Veronica Kanzenban, and Sega Gaga. April anticipates Canvas Sepia color motif and Close to a Nori no Oka. The schedule also divides releases into seasons, like Winter, Monster Breed, and Spring, Innocent Tears, alongside a list of games with undecided release dates, including Sonic Adventure 2 and Magic the Gathering. Hardware releases include Sega Visual Memory and Zip Drive. This page features the Dreamcast Readers Ranking, specifically for Weekly Readers Race 95. At the top of the chart is Soul Calibur, maintaining its number 1 position. The number 2 spot is taken by a new entry, Phantasy Star Online, highlighted as a new arrival hot topic. The page explains how the reader ranking system works, based on votes and scores given by Dreamcast Magazine readers. The focus is clearly on Phantasy Star Online, with a detailed review section including screenshots and readers' voice comments. Readers express strong positive opinions about Phantasy Star Online, highlighting it as a great entry point into the online RPG genre, praising its user-friendly system. The reviews mention the engaging battles and the appeal of online cooperative play, emphasizing the importance of teamwork and communication with other players. Aspects like character creation, graphics, and sound are also discussed positively. One reader notes the excitement of finding rare items and the immersive online experience. Overall, the reader feedback emphasizes the fun and engaging nature of Phantasy Star Online's online gameplay. The Dreamcast Readers Ranking features 3 games. At 25th is Never 7: The End of Infinity, an adventure game praised for its engaging story, characters, design, music, and replayability. Samba de Amigo Ver 2000, 28th, is a rhythm game with an exciting hustle mode and a diverse music selection. It's fun with maracas or a standard controller. Finally, Tante Shinshi Dash, 35th, is an adventure game known for its hard-boiled themes, intricate story, appealing characters, and high-quality system and story. It offers a detective experience, with visuals featuring gal game-style art, pacing, and dialogue. New Arrival Confrontation Horse Introduction 2 showcases newly released games, reviewing 4 titles. Gunspike, a Capcom shooting game, is praised for its difficulty curve and short, engaging sessions. Daytona USA 2001, a Sega racing game, boasts improved graphics, classic music remixes, and smooth net play. J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru 4, a Sega soccer management sim, offers shortened loading times and player customization, despite some technical issues. Sonic Shuffle, a Sega party game, suffers from long loading times. The page also features a reader-ranked list of Dreamcast games. Recommended Dreamcast Soft C, highlighting titles like Elemental Gimmick Gear, LOL, Lack of Love, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, spanning ranks 77 to 132. The page highlights various Dreamcast content. The new arrival peripheral introduction introduces the Dreamcast Memory Card 4X, released December 14, 2000, with 800 block capacity. Year-end Hot Games Recheck features Toki Totowa, ranked 11th, released December 7, 2000, praised for improved graphics. The Oz All-Star Dreamcast ranking lists games from 133rd to 188th. Reviews include Guilty Gear X, 84th, celebrated for visuals and combos despite loading times. Moyero Justice Gakuen, 125th, is praised for accessibility, though its story mode felt rushed. Eldorado Gate Volume 2, 148th, is commended for its expanded story and world building. This document details Dreamcast software rankings from the Oz All-Star series. The BE rank lists games from 189 to 244, including titles across various genres. The F rank, covering 245 to 266, is dominated by character-based games. The cutoff evaluation section notes ranking shifts for games like Guilty Gear X and Tricolor Crisis. The Frank evaluation suggests that finding compelling games in the lower ranks is becoming increasingly difficult. Finally, a currently running expected VM software section lists numerous upcoming games for the Dreamcast's visual memory, spanning a variety of genres, including several installments of Gladius no Tsubasa and sequels to existing titles like Capcom vs. SNK. The text is accompanied by a screenshot of a soccer game. This Dreamcast news page covers several topics. Software updates include Cardcaptor Sakura, a polygon-based anime game, and De La Jet Set Radio, possibly a preview of Jet Set Radio Future. Super Street Fighter 2X, a superior port of the classic fighter, is also featured. The page includes a peripheral popularity ranking and reader comments, discussing topics like first console purchases, Sega Sports game naming conventions, and game preferences. Reader participation is encouraged through prediction games, and Dreamcast arcade sticks and VM units are promoted via contests. The head of the list competition final battle section highlights reader-ranked game popularity, with Phantasy Star Online and Slipstream battling for the top spot. The next page is an advertisement for two perfect guidebooks. The first is for Moyero Justice Gakuen, which is known internationally as Rival Schools United by Fate. This guide promises to make your justice life perfect and includes character data, episode character analysis, in-depth battle advice, and hidden elements. It is scheduled for late January release. The second guide is for Guilty Gear X, By Your Side, G-Gear, Official Perfect Guide, Dreamcast Edition. It aims to thoroughly explore the essence of Guilty Gear X and includes basic character techniques, advanced tactics, CPU battles, and detailed strategies for versus battles. This guide is also scheduled for late January release. This Dreamcast review page features two games, Giga Wing 2 and Ultimate Fighting Championship. Giga Wing 2, a shoot-'em-up, is praised for its intense gameplay, scoring system, and improved graphics. Reviewers highlighted the strategic reflect mechanic and accessibility, despite the sometimes overwhelming bullet count and occasional visibility issues. It earned a 7.6/10 and supports up to 4 players. Ultimate Fighting Championship, a mixed martial arts game, offers engaging gameplay with a satisfying ground fighting system and realistic animations. While the lack of famous fighters and a brief instruction manual were criticized, reviewers found the game surprisingly deep, appealing to both casual and hardcore players. It also scored 7.66/10, supporting 2 players, and the page includes diverse perspectives from both reviewers and female users. The next page in Dreamcast Magazine reviews 3 upcoming titles. First up is Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, an action game praised for its stunning underwater graphics and realistic sea life. Reviewers highlight the sense of freedom in the ocean, but some felt it was too expansive and easy to get lost. It scored a 7.66 out of 10. Next is Boku Doraemon, a simulation adventure game where you become Doraemon using gadgets to help Nobita. It's seen as a faithful recreation of the Doraemon world, enjoyable for all ages, with simple minigames. However, the 3D environments, like Nobita's house, were noted as a bit confusing. This title received a 6.66. Lastly, Golf Shiuyo 2 is reviewed, a golf game aiming for accessible yet deep gameplay. It boasts improved controls, new characters, courses, and online play. The strategic depth is highlighted, with card game elements adding to the experience. While some reviewers felt the point requirements for better clubs were too high, it scored an impressive 8.33 out of 10, praised as a top-tier golf game for Dreamcast. This page is packed with Sakura Wars news. It's announcing the release date for Sakura Wars 3 is Paris Burning, which is set for March 22, 2001. Pre-orders are open now, and there will be 2 types of limited edition packaging for the game. There's also coverage of a Countdown live event that happened, showing photos of the stage and cast. The program for the live event is listed with songs like Gikite, Sakura, Metro de Iku, Chichin Pui Pui, Netsuretsu Bugi, Tsubomi, Kuya no Hana Musume, Kobu Fura Fura, Dandy, Icarus no Hoshi, Only Man, Nayameshi Mambo, Moshimo, Yume no Tsuzuki, Gikiju hi Iku, Ohanami Ondo, Center Spot, Yume Miru Kikai, Akai Kachusha, Hana Kotoba, Stone Monkey, Kirameki, Gikite, and EQ Hanasaki K. Merchandise is also highlighted, including a Shanwar music box and a visual memory unit, both priced at 9,800 yen. Finally, there are comments from cast members like Sulamayer, Sakura, Kana, Iris, Maria, Kofran, and others about the live show. This page is all about the Sakura Wars New Century Review show, which was so popular that additional performances were added from January 3rd to 7th. It was the Flower Troupe's first attempt, but it was a huge success. The show featured comedic acts, and the Boy Red act was particularly funny. The Flower Troupe also performed mimicry routines, showcasing their singing and acting skills. The program included songs like Iris Night Samba, Sumayer Chichin Pui, Kana, Let's Go to Metro, Maria Festival Dance, and Sakura Masquerade. Celebrating its 5th anniversary, the summer review show, titled Sea God's Villa, is announced and will run for a record-breaking 9 days. Sakura and Maria will be the leads, with the theme being Ocean Villa and Mirror Flower. The performance dates are from August 10th to 18th, 2001. Finally, the page mentions that popular merchandise sold out within 30 minutes at the venue. Goods included Countdown live goods, like a leather keyholder for 1,500 yen, and a bench coat for 10,000 yen. Sakura Wars show goods included keyholders, 8 types, for 500 yen each, hand towels for 1,000 yen, mini cushions for 1,000 yen, mini Daruma dolls for 1,000 yen, original posters for 1,000 yen, phone cards for 1,500 yen, shuttlecocks for 2,000 yen, a New Year's playset, 6 types, for 2,000 yen, and handmade leather wallets, 9 types, for 6,000 yen each. A Countdown memorial bench coat is also being given away as a present to 2 lucky people. Dreamcast Magazine's Dreamcast Thorough Investigation Corps explored ways to reduce phone charges for online gaming. The article focused on NTT's discount services, addressing concerns about high phone bills. It introduced plans like Telehodai, Time Plus, Kentakun, and iPlan, tailored to different usage patterns, including nighttime and daytime gaming. The article listed Dreamcast games compatible with Telehodai, like Phantasy Star Online and Sega Tetris, and those benefiting from faster KDDI lines, such as Denu Senki, Virtualon Oratorio Tangram, and Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000. It also showcased various discount plans, catering to different gaming habits. The page acknowledged the rise of broadband internet and its potential impact, while positioning NTT's services as a cost-effective solution for Dreamcast online players. The Dreamcast's broadband adoption is discussed, focusing on its broadband adapter and the impact of Phantasy Star Online, PSO. An interview with Sega's Mr. Maki highlights PSO's role in driving demand for always-on internet, leading to significant adapter sales, notably after the Guru Guru Onsen BB experiment. The page then compares always-on services, CATV cable, FLETS ISDN, and ADSL, explaining their features and availability. Mr. Maki notes the Dreamcast's 1999 broadband commercialization, with sales soaring after PSO and exceeding 10,000 units at the time of the interview. The article concludes, with Sega's plans to release a developer library for broadband and encourage third-party developers to support online gaming for the Dreamcast. This page features Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for the Sega Dreamcast as the main focus. Advertised as a highly anticipated skateboarding action game, the game, published by Activision, was already on sale from November 8, 2000, priced at $49.99, 6,000 yen, and supports 12 players. It is compatible with the VMU and VGA box. The article highlights the game as a legendary skateboarding experience with super high-level action, claiming it is the greatest in history and highly acclaimed. Screenshots showcase in-game skateboarding action. The game is rated everyone. Additionally, there's a mention of Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, also for Dreamcast, advertised with the tagline, "You'll be screaming for air this winter." The text suggests checking the packaging of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for a Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX advertisement. The page also notes that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is part of a popular series already available on PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and even Game Boy Color, implying its broad appeal and now availability on Dreamcast. This page continues the feature on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, highlighting it as a globally popular DC software title and an overseas DC trend report. The article emphasizes the real pro skaters that players can choose to play as, including Tony Hawk and 13 other pro skaters who bring their signature techniques and stances to the game. The skaters featured include Bob Burnquist, Kareem Campbell, Eric Costin, Steve Caballero, Rune Glifberg, Bucky Lasek, Rodney Mullen, Andrew Reynolds, Alyssa Steamer, Chad Muska, Jessoff Rowley, and Jamie Thomas. The game allows players to customize parameters to match the skater's skill level, even down to clothing options. The page also delves into the game's controls, describing it as an action game with responsive controls that become intuitive with practice. It explains various techniques like ollie and direction keys as fundamental for performing tricks using button combinations. The article details specific moves and button inputs, illustrating ollie, nollie, stance change, grind, lip tricks, grab tricks, and flip tricks. It mentions using the Y button for grinds and lip tricks on rails and edges, B button for grab tricks during airtime, and X button for flip tricks. Screenshots demonstrate gameplay moments and button layouts for the Dreamcast controller, explaining how to execute tricks like inward heel flip, FS nose grind, stiffy, and kickflip. This page continues the look at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. It details the game modes available, including Career Mode, which is the main mode where you earn money and aim for the top. Single Session Mode challenges you to get the highest score possible within a 2-minute time limit. Free Skate Mode allows you to practice freely without time limits, letting you explore levels and master tricks, with scores shown to the side for practice. The 2-player mode offers competitive play, including modes like Graffiti, where players compete to claim areas by performing tricks. The page also highlights player creation, emphasizing the depth of customization. You can set your player's name and initial settings. Appearance customization is detailed, allowing you to change skin tone, hair, and clothing with various brands and logos. Finally, you can distribute parameter points to tailor your skater's abilities based on your preferred style, adjusting stats to match your gameplay. The next page showcases the Park Editor mode in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, allowing players to create their own skate parks. It details the park creation process in 3 steps: object placement, test play, and completion. The page breaks down park elements into categories such as starts, gap, risers, quater pipes, rails, offset rails, low walls, slopes, stairs, pools, kickers, benches, signs, floor, foliage, fun boxes, and misc, giving a short description of each. Areas. It also features an example section, revealing that there are 50 pre-made sample parks included. The page suggests players can arrange these or create their own unique parks. The page includes opinions from overseas journalists who praise the game, highlighting that it is selling well due to its quality and not just the brand name Tony Hawk. They note the DC version is well made, emphasizing the reality and depth of gameplay. Finally, there's a section from the person in charge writer who mentions being engrossed in the game for 2 weeks and even developing a callus on their finger from playing so much. They highlight the immersive and enjoyable nature of the game, even if the graphics are simple. Dreamcast is holding a great present giveaway with several prize items. 10 winners will receive a 1-year subscription to Dreamcast Magazine. 1 lucky winner will get a rare Super Black Dreamcast console. Another 10 will win a pure black Dreamcast keyboard and VMU set. 3 winners will receive a Sakura Wars Dreamcast set, including a Sakura-themed console, controller, VMU, and the rare Kinematron floral pattern mail software. 3 more will win a logo version Sakura Wars controller. 3 winners will also receive a Dreameye set, 2 units, enabling video calls. Finally, 5 will receive a Pearl Color Dreamcast controller set, featuring pearl blue, white, and pink controllers. This page continues the Great Present giveaway for Dreamcast Magazine readers. Prizes include a set of 3 Pearl Color visual memory units in blue, white, and pink for 5 winners. 3 winners will receive an Overseas Dreamcast set, which allows you to play import games and includes a Dreamcast console, controller, and software. 1 extremely lucky person will win a rare Biohazard, Resident Evil, model Dreamcast, in a clear version. 5 winners can get their hands on an ASC2 Pad FT Special Capcom version controller, along with a Capcom-branded VMU, and a set of 3 Capcom games available via D-Direct sales, specifically Vampire Chronicle for matching service, Net to Tennis, and Super Street Fighter 2X for matching service. 10 people can win a stylish silver metallic Dreamcast controller. Finally, 10 winners will receive a DJI Chariot Web Manager card worth 2,000 yen featuring artwork of the anime characters. The page details application instructions, stating to use a postcard and include name, age, address, phone number, occupation, desired prize, and product names. The deadline for applications is January 26, 2001, with postmark valid. Winners will be announced via mail. This page is dedicated to the DC Licensee vs Dream Maga Fire Battle Round 2 Fierce Battle Edition, a New Year's project where Dreamcast Magazine faces off against game licensees. If Dream Maga wins, readers get presents. But if they lose, they must give a page of the magazine to the licensees. The rules of the showdown include games like Samba de Amigo, Rock Paper Scissors, and various other games. Introducing new characters for this round. Tashi Wolf, Dream Maga's trendwatcher who covers the Arrowwing series and loves race queens and fighter planes. Super J, a robot editor in charge of the Ah, I Found It section. And Isagoman, a cyborg editor for the kids section who underwent surgery just to win prizes. Round 6 focuses on the game Derby Owners Club, featuring the Derby Tsukuro development team against Ume and the Samba team. The text describes a chaotic game development scene referred to as Development Punch Drunker, with the teams competing in Derby Owners Club. The application deadline for the contest is February 2, 2001. This page presents the Derby Tsukuro development team competing in Derby Owners Club in Round 6 of the DC Licensee vs Dream Maga Fire Battle. The text mentions the chaotic development environment dubbed Development Punch Drunker, emphasizing the team's dedication to winning against the Dream Maga team, Ume and Samba team. There is a prize giveaway section titled Present, where 1 winner can receive prize set A, B, and C. Prize A is a panel special large featuring artwork of horses. Prize B includes 2 Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star, Pegasus photo key holders. Prize C consists of 2 types of Omasan's kitchen gloves. The application deadline for the contest remains February 2, 2001. This page announces prize giveaways and a competition. In Round 00, Game Arts is giving away Grandia 2 merchandise. 5 winners will receive poster sets, and 5 will get postcard sets. Round 00 offers Tokyo Joyopolis tickets from Sega, with 5 groups of 10 people winning pairs of tickets to the amusement park. Round 7 features a competition between CRI and the Dream Maga editorial department. The focus is on network battles within Aero Dancing F, released November 16, 2000. The competition highlights Masquerade 1 from CRI and Masquerade 3 from the Dream Maga team, with their rivalry emphasized. The competition results are expected to be close, hinting at a dance and a possible victory for Tashi Wolf. The winner receives an Aero Dancing FI4 plastic model kit and a large screen. This page is Round 8 and introduces a giveaway for the game Battle Beaster by Studio Wonder Effect. The prize is a signed color paper featuring the character Sayuri-chan, newly drawn by character designer Hiroyuki Konishi, and autographed by voice actors Yano Eiji, Shigetsuka Toshihiro, Nonaka Masahiro, Narita Ken, Ryu Mika, Kato Kumiko, and Kimoto Mika. A promotional video for Battle Beaster is also included in the prize. The signed paper originates from the Battle Beaster Voice Battle Experience event. The page humorously describes a rock-paper-scissors game with a robot named Super J, who can only choose rock. Character names Sayuri-san, assistant, and Miki, receptionist, are mentioned along with names Kanaya Kiyoyuki and Matsuoka Yuki, likely connected to the game. This page is Round 1 results report of a competition between Gravia Idol Risatani and the Dreamcast Magazine editorial team, Ume and Samba Corps. The results show that Risatani defeated Ume in a Samba showdown, humorously attributed to Ume's weakness to pudding and inability to show his true strength. The page features a profile of Gravia Idol Risatani giving her personal details and an advertisement for a signed video called Kitten Like a Kitten, where Risatani is described as changing into a swimsuit and acting like a kitten. The video is available from Ichi Publishing, and 5 signed copies are being given away. This page is reporting on Round 3 of a competition where Isagomen from the Dreamcast Magazine team is humorously defeated by Kindle Imagine Develop. It then navigates to KID's website, highlighting the company's homepage at http://www.kidgame.co.jp, which offers content for PC, Dreamcast, and mobile phones through iMode and Jabowski services. The page mentions a questionnaire for Memories Off 2, with thank you notes to users and details about versions for CDR, PlayStation, and PlayStation 2. It also promotes checking pre-release title information, particularly for Dreamcast titles, mentioning Close 2 with a screenshot. An online shop section advertises telecards and other goods, as well as discount game software, including Sega Saturn titles. There's a scoop announcing the cast for Close 2, revealing voice actors such as Sana Yuzuki, Mai Nakahara, and Ruri Asano, among others. More details are promised in the next issue of Dreamcast Magazine. The page then presents fully loaded websites for released titles. The Treasure Strike website at http://www.treasurestrike.com/top.html features online battle rankings and BBS forums. The Memories Off Complete website at http://memoff.drickas.ni.jp/memoff/ showcases user illustrations and stories and offers downloadable key files specifically for Dreamcast. Finally, the Never 7 The End of Infinity website at http://never7.drickas.ni.jp/ is mentioned, linking it to the Memories Off series and also providing key files and BBS access. Lastly, a prize giveaway offers KID goods assortment to one person, including telecards. This page is a how-to-play guide for Fighting Vipers 2 on Dreamcast, diving into the game's rules and basic controls. It details winning conditions like KO, time up, and sudden death. The guide explains the basic Dreamcast controller operations, including button assignments for punch, kick, and guard, and how to use the directional buttons and joystick. A significant portion is dedicated to explaining the armor gauge system, detailing how armor breaks and its impact on damage and combos. The page also clarifies the command notation used throughout the guide to represent button presses and directional inputs. Screenshots from the game illustrate gameplay scenarios and armor states. This page offers a deep dive into Fighting Vipers 2, beginning with the lore of Nutscrack, the banned fighting style of Armstone City. Interviews with AM2 developers highlight destruction as a key game element. The guide then focuses on gameplay, explaining basic character movement like walking, jumping, and dashing. It details offensive moves initiated from a forward dash, including the running straight, knee, sliding kick, and tackle. Jump attacks, varying with height and timing, are also explained. Wall-based techniques are explored, such as triangle jump, wall climb, over the wall, specific to certain characters, and wall jump. Finally, the page covers the back turn, a move with brief invincibility for evasion and counterattacks. Unavailable to Sandman and Sandman. The page includes a screenshot showcasing the fast-paced action of the game. The next page continues the Fighting Vipers 2 guide, focusing on the game's combat systems. It explains the attack and defense mechanics, noting the similarity to Virtua Fighter, with high, medium, and low attacks and corresponding guards. The page details guard-breaking throws, throw escapes, and recovery actions when blown away. It introduces FV, 2 original techniques like Guard Attack, GA, and Tech Guard, TG, systems, explaining how to use them offensively and defensively. The guide points out that there are no dedicated rising attacks, but instead, rising actions after being knocked down. Finally, it introduces the Super KO system, a powerful comeback mechanic. The page uses screenshots to illustrate these gameplay mechanics and button inputs. This page is a detailed guide for playing as Bon in Fighting Vipers 2. It starts by introducing Bon's fighting style as powerful but lacking in combo attacks, emphasizing strong mid-level attacks and the importance of not allowing opponents to counterattack. The guide then provides Bond Basic Tactics, Tips 1, recommending that in CPU battles, players should use guard breaks followed by strong attacks like forward and X button combination. It also mentions using jump attacks when the opponent is guarding. Bond versus Attack Basic, Tips 2, focuses on defensive strategies. It advises using guard button and X button to counterattacks, especially against opponents who rely on punches. It suggests creating advantageous situations for throws after successfully guarding attacks, and using dash attacks when the opponent is far away. For getting stronger with Bond, remember these two elements. Tips 3 highlights two key aspects for advanced Bond play: mastering combo attacks and aiming for ground combos. It advises practicing the TG, Tech Guard, to initiate combos and focusing on ground combos when the opponent is down. Finally, the FV2 knowledge section explains the guard break mechanic, stating that some moves can break guards and that guard attacks, GA, cannot be countered in principle. It recommends utilizing guard breaking techniques and GA against opponents who rely heavily on guarding. The page includes various screenshots illustrating the gameplay tips and Bond's moves. This page introduces the character Jane from Fighting Vipers 2. Jane is described as a powerful fighter whose attacks feel heavy and overwhelming for a woman. She specializes in relentless offense that can break through guards, with her signature move being the devastating tornado punch. The page then provides gameplay tips for using Jane effectively. For CPU battles, it's recommended to start with the +XX attack and follow up with +Y if the opponent guards. For general combat, especially at mid-range, the +XX attack is highlighted as central, especially for counter hits which can lead to full combos. In close quarters, utilizing throws, +X after the opponent guards is advised. To master Jane, players are urged to focus on two key elements: the tornado punch, a guard-breaking technique, and her powerful throws. The page showcases her winning poses, and a character story section noting her ambition to be a Marine, highlighting her strength and resilience. Character notes emphasize Jane's ability to break guards and create advantageous situations using moves like the tornado punch. The page includes a full command list for Jane's moves, although it is not detailed here in the summary. Finally, an FV2 knowledge section discusses using jump attacks to pressure opponents, even if they guard, as these attacks can cause stagger. It also mentions the importance of using ukemi, or tech rolls, to recover and avoid follow-up attacks after being knocked down. Mauler, in Fighting Vipers 2, is a powerful throwing viper, a masked wrestler and former mercenary seeking justice. He compensates for his lack of speed with devastating throws and grapples, making him suitable for players who enjoy overwhelming opponents. His winning poses reflect his arrogant nature. The page provides a detailed command list and gameplay tips. Key strategies include using X button attacks, followed by Y+A if guarded, and prioritizing X+Y throws. Advanced tactics include using LK+Y+A for guard breaks, and down throws for finishing moves, emphasizing timing. The page also highlights the strategic use of small jump attacks for applying pressure, avoiding attacks, and initiating offense. This page focuses on Grace, the steel black leopard, from Fighting Vipers 2. Grace is described as a character who uses her excellent footwork and speed to overwhelm opponents with combos and powerful middle attacks. There are gameplay tips provided, starting with advice for CPU battles, recommending the use of Y+A+down+Y or X+Y combos. It also suggests countering guarded attacks with X+Y. The page emphasizes Grace's strength lies in low attacks, particularly down+Y+A, and powerful middle attacks. It advises players to use X+Y and X+down+Y to gain an advantage in fights. Advanced strategies are also covered, including using sit-spin techniques when opponents guard and aiming for FJ shoot-tainer moves performed in the air with jump+up, +X+Y+A. It's mentioned that delaying attacks and using ground throws after taking damage are also effective tactics. Character notes reveal Grace's story revolves around seeking revenge. Various winning poses are showcased too. The writer highlights that mastering down+Y+A and middle attacks is crucial to understanding Grace's depth and true potential, especially against experienced players. There's a comprehensive command list detailing Grace's moves and their button inputs, along with a section called FV2 Knowledge. This section warns against simply spamming strong attacks, as predictable moves can be easily countered. It advises players to vary their attacks strategically, because relying on the same moves repeatedly can become predictable and allow opponents to counter effectively. The next page delves into Raxel, the solitary rocker of Fighting Vipers 2. This unique character wields a guitar as a weapon, blending sharp, edgy attacks with heavy guitar strikes, making him a force to be reckoned with on the stage. The page highlights Raxel's backstory and showcases his various character model colors and winning poses. There's a comprehensive command list detailing all of Raxel's moves and their button inputs, but more crucially, there are gameplay tips to master him. Tip 1 focuses on CPU battles, suggesting a combo starting with down, forward, XXX to keep the pressure on. For fundamental tactics in Tip 2, the page emphasizes Raxel's approach to combat. Start with medium attacks, stop at the second hit to assess the opponent's guard, then follow up with throws or varied attacks. It also points out the effectiveness of overhead attacks and throws and breaking guards. Tip 3 offers advanced strategies, focusing on wake-up attacks. It recommends using spin roller or crouching throws after knockdowns for effective offense. It also highlights using jump attacks and throws after floating opponents for substantial damage. Finally, the FV2 knowledge section explains the air recovery system, noting it's not just about timing, but also grants brief invincibility upon use, adding a layer of defensive strategy to the game. The screenshots throughout the page vividly illustrate Raxel's guitar-infused combat style in Fighting Vipers 2. Sandman, the heavyweight explosive viper from Fighting Vipers 2, is characterized by powerful throws and cancels. Tips for playing Sandman include prioritizing throws early against CPU opponents, using punches to set up throws in player versus player, and employing feints. Advanced strategies focus on down throws and throw combos. Sandman's character is described as a mysterious, greedy viper who loves the number 3, evident in his winning poses. The guide offers a summarized move list and details how to counter-throw combos by pressing A and guard simultaneously. The key to defeating Sandman involves adapting to his throw-heavy style and learning to evade his combo throws. This page is a complete guide to Charlie from Fighting Vipers 2, subtitled BMX Viper Charlie Complete Analysis. This is everything. Charlie is introduced as a high-performance fighter who uses a BMX in battle, encouraging players to polish their bike skills to win elegantly. The page details Charlie's model colors, story which is described as a street fight using BMX jumps, and winning poses ranging from perfect victory to humiliation. There is a section on Super KO know-how, explaining how to achieve a Super KO with Charlie by reducing the opponent's health to near zero and using an armor break finish. A comprehensive Charlie All Moves command list table details various attack types, commands, and important notes. The guide then moves into tips for playing Charlie. Tip 1 focuses on basic attacks using button combinations. Tip 2 discusses Charlie's fundamental fighting strategy, emphasizing punches and mid-level attacks. And Tip 3 covers advanced riding attack tactics. Finally, the page highlights Charlie's 2 important elements for getting stronger: mastering riding attacks and understanding countermeasures while in ride mode. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate gameplay and strategic advice. The next page introduces Picky from Fighting Vipers 2, a skateboarder character. It highlights him as a technical fighter whose standing punch is slow, but this can be used to his advantage in strategic gameplay. The character notes section mentions Picky's skateboard-based attacks and suggests they might deal heartbreak damage. It also describes his different winning poses: perfect victory, normal, and humiliation. The tips section provides gameplay advice for Picky. Tip 1 focuses on basic CPU battles and utilizing guard attacks and ground attacks effectively. Tip 2 discusses fundamental fighting strategies, emphasizing punch usage and close quarters combat. Tip 3 delves into advanced techniques, including air throws and utilizing 2 key elements: mastering throws and understanding counterattacks to guard breaks. A significant portion of the page is dedicated to a Picky All command list, a table detailing his various moves, attack types, and command inputs. This table seems to cover a wide range of attacks, from standard punches and kicks to more complex skateboard-based maneuvers and throws. The page concludes by emphasizing Picky's strategic depth, encouraging players to master his unique skateboard fighting style to fully utilize his potential. This page continues the character introductions for Fighting Vipers 2, now focusing on Tokyo. Described as the Righteous Fist, he is highlighted as a technical character whose fighting style relies on feints and diverse attacks. The character notes section presents Tokyo's story as Sleeping Viper Awakening due to the shock of the city's collapse. It mentions he was once a member of a team, but became a lone Viper after leaving. Model colors shows different color variations for Tokyo's 1P and 2P models. His wife. Winning pose displays his victory animations. Perfect victory, normal, and humiliation. Tips 1 advises on basic CPU battles, suggesting using guard attacks and ground attacks. Tips 2 covers fundamental fighting strategies, emphasizing mid-level attacks and countering guarded opponents with throws. It also mentions using combos from mid-range. Tips 3 focuses on advanced techniques, including using feints and counterattacking after guard breaks. The advice highlights two crucial elements for mastering Tokyo: mastering feints and countering guard breaks. A large Tokyo all-command list table details his various moves, commands, and properties. This list includes a wide array of techniques, ranging from basic punches and kicks to more complex moves, throws, and back attacks. The page concludes by emphasizing the importance of feints and reading the opponent's guard to succeed with Tokyo, highlighting his mid-level attacks as a core strategy. The next page introduces another character for Fighting Vipers 2, and this time it's Emi, who is described as transformation at will. She is characterized as an offensive fighter who uses mid-level attacks and throws to control the battle. The character notes section details Emi's story, which revolves around her trying to rescue her grandfather. The model colors section showcases different color variations for her 1P and 2P character models. Winning pose displays her various victory poses, including perfect, normal, and humiliation. Tips 1 provides basic strategies for CPU battles, recommending the use of specific attack combinations. Tips 2 explains fundamental fighting tactics, emphasizing mid-level attacks and utilizing throws to counter opponents who are guarding. It also mentions the effectiveness of combos from mid-range. Tips 3 delves into advanced techniques, specifically focusing on utilizing the prone state as a key offensive tactic. A large Emi all-command list table is present, detailing a comprehensive array of her moves with their corresponding commands. This list includes a wide range of techniques, from basic punches and kicks to more complex special moves, throws, and attacks from a prone position. Finally, the FV2 knowledge section, titled What to Do When You Are in a Yoroshike State, explains a game mechanic where characters enter a weakened state after taking damage. It advises players to rapidly press buttons when in this state to recover quickly. This page introduces Honey, described as Fallen Angel Honey, for Fighting Vipers 2. The character notes section details Honey's character as a street fashion designer whose personality dramatically changes with her outfits. The model colors section showcases her 1P and 2P color variations. Winning pose illustrates her victory poses, described as ranging from beautiful to playfully devilish. Tips 1. Honey CPU Battle Wisdom advises players to use down plus punch and kick to start, and if guarded, switch to mid-level ground attacks for an easy win against the CPU. Tips 2. Honey Battle Basics highlights that Honey excels at initiating attacks and chaining into counterattacks. It emphasizes using punch and kick as starting points and incorporating throws against guarding opponents, noting the effectiveness of mid-range combos and armor-breaking moves. Tips 3. Upper-level tactics for Honey focuses on using prone states strategically for offense, recommending techniques like down plus kick, down plus punch and kick, and down plus punch plus guard to create strong attacks. A comprehensive Honey all-command list table details her moves, categorized by attack type and command inputs, ranging from basic strikes to advanced techniques and throws. The Honey Battle Basics section further elaborates on gameplay strategy, focusing on initiating attacks with punch and kick, and transitioning into throws if the opponent guards. It also suggests canceling moves and utilizing throws against guarding opponents. The FV2 Knowledge, sometimes Cancel section, discusses the importance of canceling moves into throws, especially against guarding opponents, to create offensive opportunities. This page is focused on Fire Pro Wrestling for Dreamcast, highlighting its return to the console. It emphasizes the series' history and game history in depth, stating that Fire Pro is back and that no match is impossible. The page points out the charm of the dot art graphics, contrasting it with polygon-based games, and suggests that dot art expression is essential and still relevant in games. It mentions the large roster of over 200 wrestlers and the vast number of available moves, allowing for dream matches based on real-life wrestlers. The article highlights the ability to create dream matches and scenarios that players envision. The page notes that while the graphics may be old school, the core gameplay of Fire Pro Wrestling remains strong. It mentions network battles are now possible, enabling online play and allowing players to face off against others across the country using their custom wrestlers. The article speculates about potential online tournaments in the future. It also promotes the game's website and mentions that the initial release will come with a trading card and game rare card. Game data details include a release date of March 1st, price of 6,800 yen, 360 points, 14 players, and 36 blocks of memory required. The game genre is listed as SPT, Pro Wrestling Game. The website address is also provided. Screenshots show in-game action, wrestler entrances, and wrestler selection screens, showcasing the classic Fire Pro Wrestling style. This page continues the focus on Fire Pro Wrestling, highlighting different match types available in the game. It showcases gruesome fighting, which is described as a cement match in a cage, emphasizing a no-escape, serious fight between men. The Octagon mode is detailed as an 8-sided cage match, removing show elements and focusing on raw fighting ability, aiming to determine the strongest wrestler in a realistic battle. Battle Royal is also featured, where wrestlers enter the ring and are eliminated until only one remains, with fighters joining later having an advantage. The page mentions deathmatch modes that involve dangerous ring setups, such as barbed wire ropes or rings surrounded by fluorescent light tubes, promising extreme and violent matches. Finally, it briefly touches on regular single and tag team matches and tournament modes, allowing for various wrestling event simulations. Screenshots depict these different match types, including cage fights, battle royals, and death matches with barbed wire and exploding rings. The text emphasizes the variety and depth of match types that can be experienced in Fire Pro Wrestling. This page continues the feature on Fire Pro Wrestling and introduces new gameplay mechanics. The game now includes a down count rule, meaning if a wrestler is knocked down and cannot stand within a 10 count, they lose. Ground wrestling techniques have also been added, allowing for timing-based submissions and grappling on the mat, including guard positions and attacks from underneath. The critical rule, where a single blow can decide the match, is also adjustable. The page then lists a large roster of wrestlers and categorizes them into different fictional wrestling organizations or groups, like VIU Japan, Olive Japan, Zippang Japan, Free, IW Nations, and N. It seems to be the editorial team's humorous prediction of wrestler affiliations within the game, highlighting a wide variety of characters with unique names and nicknames. Screenshots demonstrate the new down count rule and ground wrestling mechanics, including guard positions and submission attempts. This page continues the Fire Pro Wrestling D feature, highlighting even more power-ups to the wrestler editing. You can now create original wrestlers with even more detailed customizations, and even create professional fighters. The page details how you can now enjoy chaotic 8-person tag team matches, up to 4 vs 4. Although the Dreamcast console only supports 4 controllers natively, the magazine points out that with peripherals, 8-player simultaneous play might be possible to get everyone involved. Another new feature is the ability to use weapons found around the arena. These aren't just special moves, but actual objects like pipes and bats that can be picked up and used, allowing for even more brutal and realistic wrestling action, and scenarios where wrestlers can grab weapons from each other. The pipe chair is mentioned as a classic example of a wrestling weapon. The wrestler editing suite has been significantly enhanced, allowing for deeper customization and the creation of truly original wrestlers. You can even design your own championship belts and team logos. Finally, the page lists an enormous roster of wrestlers, categorized into different fictional wrestling promotions, like WFW Pro Wrestling, WWC Pro Wrestling, Kakutuka, Gongus, Hikarasu, Kumet, and Legend. It ends by teasing that there are nearly 50 hidden wrestlers to discover within the game. This page is a preview of the Dreamcast golf game, Golf Shiuyo 2. Let's Play Golf 2. The article is aimed at fans who have been waiting for its release and explores the game's charm with designers who worked on characters and courses. The page highlights the game system as simple but deep, explaining that players choose a club, direction, and power for their shot. It describes the C-gauge system for shot power, where players stop a moving marker in the shot area to determine power. Hitting 95,100% power is considered the ideal range, and the game visually indicates the ball's position and slope. New features are introduced like hole maps and LEI icons, which help players understand the ball's lie and direction of shot. The page emphasizes that these weren't in the previous game. There's an interview section featuring Softmax designers Okada Kenji, character 3D design and motion, and Ata Nobuaki, course design and modeling, described as the individuals who breathed life into Golf Shiuyo 2. They discuss enhancing the gameplay experience to be more comfortable and enjoyable, specifically mentioning improvements to the care gauge's visibility and ease of use. Game data reveals a release date of January 25th, with a price of 5,800 yen, 300 points. The game supports 14 players. The opening section mentions that the opening movie is not just visual, but also features a newly composed opening theme song sung by Curve, Hose Girl's voice actor. Golf Shiuyo 2 offers diverse game modes across challenging courses in 7 countries plus more. World Tour mode simulates a professional golf career, with GP tracking progress toward the top world ranking. Free round allows casual play, including time attack. Additional modes include stroke play, match play, and point tourney, with match play offering various victory conditions. New features enhance gameplay, like character stories, with pre/post-round dialogue, and adjustable course undulation and game level to customize difficulty. Players can select time zones, day, evening, night, for course ambiance. The game emphasizes communication battles with online play and voice chat. Developer comments highlight detailed course graphics, strategic pin positions influenced by game level, and adjustable undulation settings from previous games, allowing varied playstyles. The game also allows saving progress after each hole in World Tour mode. This page details the GP golf points system in Golf Shiuyo 2. Let's Play Golf 2, and how they can be earned and spent through minigames and in-game purchases. 2 minigames are highlighted. GSLOT, a slot machine featuring cute Golf Shiuyo characters, and GBLACKJACK, where players gamble GP against a computer opponent with a double UP chance for winning. The GP counter section introduces the in-game shop, where collected GP can be exchanged for items like wood and iron clubs, balls, costumes, and course unlocks. Players can purchase items to enhance their game and customize their golfer's appearance. GP is earned by playing rounds and minigames. Bonus GP is awarded for character-specific achievements, chip-ins, and hole-in-ons. The page also includes an interview segment where a developer discusses the creation of new characters, mentioning that half of the characters are new additions, including Hose Girls. The aim was to create diverse characters, and GP is essential for unlocking them. Finally, the page showcases several new characters, like Jurian, Bobby, Gina, and Rei Fang, along with Jody Valencia, Griffith, and Tommy Griffith. It mentions that initially only 4 characters are selectable, but ultimately over 20 characters can be unlocked with GP, including returning characters from previous games, and these new characters can be obtained through GP. This report focuses on the Biohazard Code, Veronica Kanzenban, Resident Evil Code, Veronica X, and its bonus Wesker Report DVD. The DVD, celebrating the Biohazard series' 5th anniversary, offers Wesker's perspective on the series' events, developer interviews, and conference footage. Availability of the DVD is subject to retailer. The report also includes an interview with producer Shinji Mikami and director Hiroki Kato. They discuss releasing the complete edition on Dreamcast to appease its users, given the game's Sega platform origins. They address content limitations in the initial Dreamcast release, acknowledging time constraints, and highlight the complete edition as an opportunity to expand and enhance the game, including more Wesker-related content. This page continues the interview with Shinji Mikami and Hiroki Kato discussing Resident Evil Code, Veronica X. The page highlights Famous Scene 1, Redfield Siblings vs. a Wesker, from the game. They talk about changes in the complete edition, focusing on making the gameplay easier for casual players and adjusting the game balance. They also mention that the rocket launcher will be available from the beginning after clearing the game, which wasn't the case in the original version. Regarding the PS2 version, they confirm that the PS2 version's additional elements can be enjoyed from the start, similar to the Dreamcast Complete Edition, and the core content is the same. They also touch upon the challenges of emulation and the memory usage of the Dreamcast version. Pricing is discussed, with the Dreamcast version priced at 5,800 yen and the PS2 version at 6,800 yen. Mikami reflects on the Biohazard series' 5-year journey and future direction, while Kato shares his thoughts on the Saturn version of the original Resident Evil. The page features screenshots of Claire and Chris Redfield and a smaller image of Wesker, reinforcing the focus on Wesker's role in this complete edition. This page continues the discussion about Resident Evil Code, Veronica X, and highlights different famous scenes from the game in the complete edition. First, it talks about famous scene 2, Alexia vs. Wesker, where Wesker appears in the Antarctic base and confronts Alexia. It mentions this is a crucial scene in the story, where Wesker invades Rockford Island. Next, the page details Alexia vs. Wesker further, explaining that in the original version, Wesker was immediately in a fight with Chris, but in the complete edition, Wesker's appearance in this scene is emphasized. Then, there's a Check DC version complete edition section, which lists the improvements in this version, stating that item detection is improved, making items easier to pick up, and important items are more noticeable. Also, features like the rocket launcher and battle game, which were previously unlocked after clearing the game, are available from the start. The price is also reduced to 5,800 yen. Finally, famous scene 3, Claire vs. Steve, is showcased, describing the encounter between Claire and Steve at Rockford Island. It emphasizes their escape and the changes in Steve's character as a highlight of the complete edition. Eve Zero Arc of the Matter Complete Edition features a compelling opening cinematic, introducing the characters and hinting at the mysteries surrounding Kojiro, Marina, and the children, Toa and Makoto. The game, an adventure title from Game Village, is set to release on March 22nd and is targeted at both returning EV fans and newcomers. Improvements to visual quality are noted in the Dreamcast version. The game's investigation focuses on Kojiro, a detective tracking the runaway boy Makoto, and Marina, a public safety agent investigating a murder case and searching for Toa. Their separate investigations lead them to uncover clues and connections, questioning if their cases are truly unrelated, setting the stage for an intertwined narrative. This page delves deeper into the side Kojiro story of Eve Zero Arc of the Matter Complete Edition, focusing on the protagonist Kojiro and his role in protecting a runaway boy named Makoto. The narrative explores the unfolding events as Kojiro investigates Makoto's case, while public safety agent Marina is also looking into a separate murder and searching for another child, Toa. The page highlights the intertwining nature of their investigations and the dangers involved. Screenshots depict Kojiro in conversation, confronting a woman, possibly Marina, in a tense situation, and encountering a blonde girl, possibly Toa, who is described as very attractive and valuable. The game seems to involve intense moments, demonstrated by a scene set in a game center where Kojiro is caught in a gun battle and a car chase. Dialogue snippets suggest a sense of being watched and targeted, and a confrontation where someone demands the return of their son, implying a kidnapping scenario. Kojiro is also shown interacting with other characters, including a scene where he meets someone again and dismisses a previous encounter as useless. Another quote has Kojiro remarking on the blonde girl's attractiveness and the willingness of people to spend money on someone like her. The pickup from movie number 1 Deep Night Game Center gun battle section highlights a specific action-packed scene set in a game center, further emphasizing the thrilling and investigative aspects of Eve Zero Arc of the Matter Complete Edition, an adventure game for the Dreamcast. Playback is a retrospective on EV Burst Error, a mystery adventure game following protagonists Marina and Kojiro. Kojiro investigates a new mystery, while Marina probes bizarre murders and the disappearance of Prisia in Eltadia. Their paths intertwine as they uncover interconnected cases. Marina works for the Cabinet Investigation Office, a police unit handling sensitive cases in Eltadia, a resource-rich, technologically advanced, yet politically unstable, multi-ethnic country. Ethnic tensions and calls for autonomy plague the region. Key characters include Marina's colleague Mayako and Prisia, a princess candidate under Kojiro's protection. The central plot revolves around the Elcidia throne succession, with 3 candidates vying for power. The murders are linked to this struggle, and the climax unfolds on the cruise ship Tristan, revealing the truth behind the succession. This page highlights Eve: The Lost One, an adventure game released in Japan for Sega Saturn in March 1998. It's described as a continuation of the Burst Error story, focusing on the past of Kojiro, a protagonist from the previous game, and his connection to Marina and other characters. The narrative revolves around a bomb incident and a man named Adonis, who gives Kojiro the codename Snake and tasks him with finding memory. The story involves a conspiracy in Elnedia, and a new drug called ADD, effective against various viruses, plays a crucial role. Character introductions include Yuichi Kenjo, codenamed Snake, an investigator entangled in the case, and Kyoko Kirino, a new investigator in the Cabinet Investigation Office. The episode Files section details an event where Kyoko encounters Eve at a summer convention, and Eve entrusts her with memory, disguised as a red flower, unaware that she is being used. The Tips, EVE, section elaborates on the backstory of EVE, revealed to be Princess Prisia, who is brainwashed and manipulated to develop ADD, a vector virus-based drug with a dark secret. This drug, ADD-Lost-1, is a powerful vaccine, but has deadly side effects, killing infected individuals within 3 days unless they receive the EVE vaccine. This page introduces Battle Beaster, a monster breeding and battling simulation game for the Dreamcast, developed by Wonder Effect and released in Japan in February 2001. The page is presented by Sayu, who explains that in the game, players manage a factory to raise and train beasts, aiming to conquer the continent through battles. Screenshots showcase in-game battles and highlight different beast types, such as dragon, bird, insect, and shellfish types. The game emphasizes the importance of both the beast's inherent abilities and the tamer's training skills in determining combat effectiveness. The game data section provides the release date, price, and developer information, and the website address. The Battle Beaster game introduces 4 formidable tamer opponents, each representing a different continent. From the Ryoku Empire, Tokugawa Genmai, a tournament veteran known for his giant beasts, challenges players in the Susano tournament. Chushi and Gekiha, the powerful sister duo from the Wulong Republic, run the Wulong Company and compete in the Aspen Sea tournament. Chushi dislikes men. Espresso, a 12-year-old boy from the Kafi Allied Kingdom, enters the Joker tournament, accompanied by his dragon companion. Finally, Brandel, a living legend and leader of the Militria Kingdom, is set to participate in the Mantzuo tournament. A trial version of Battle Beaster will be available in Dreamcast Magazine GD Volume 10 on January 26th. This page is a feature on the Dreamcast game Doraemon's Story, Nobita and the How How Kingdom. It's described as an adventure game where you play as Doraemon and solve problems for Nobita. The game stays true to the original manga and anime, offering nostalgic gameplay. It is set in a 3D world and boasts over 150 different Doraemon gadgets. The gameplay is scenario-based, with each episode lasting a week in game time, progressing over a year. Each episode begins with Nobita needing help, triggered at his house or elsewhere in town. Players choose from 3 Doraemon gadgets to solve the problem. Selecting the right gadget, as in the original stories, leads to success, increasing Nobita's trust, while incorrect choices can lead to failure and impact the future negatively. Screenshots show various locations in 3Ds, like Nobita's house and the town, and gadget selection screens. The game data states it's a Sega Toys title, scheduled for release on January 25th, priced at 5,800 yen for one player, and categorized as a simulation adventure game. The page also mentions that you can view collected gadgets in a picture book mode, with descriptions, encouraging replayability to collect everything. A Dreamcast Magazine reader survey is presented, asking about demographics, reading habits, and Dreamcast preferences. The survey includes instructions and examples for completion. It covers topics like gender, age, and occupation. A list of Dreamcast hardware and software is included, listing a wide variety of games, including titles like Sonic Adventure 2, Metropolis Street Racer, NFL 2K1, and many others, spanning various genres such as sports, fighting, RPGs, and simulations. The survey aims to gather reader opinions on the magazine's content and the Dreamcast platform as a whole. This page is an advertisement for 2 Phantasy Star online guidebooks and a magazine called Taigeki Graph Sakura. The first guide, Phantasy Star Online Navigation Guide, is already on sale and packed with valuable strategy information for hunters, covering character creation, online and offline play, game systems, weapons, items, and techniques. The second guide, Phantasy Star Online Imperfect Guide, is scheduled for release in late January 2001, and readers are encouraged to look forward to it. The page also features artwork of characters from Phantasy Star Online. Additionally, an advertisement for the magazine, Taigeki Graph Sakura, is shown, highlighting that it is filled with gravure photos of Taigeki stars and reveals their true selves. The magazine's winter issue looks back on the year, covers Kobayashi Wave Romantic Travel, The Water Metropolis, and features Hiroi prints discussing the future of Sakura Wars. The magazine is priced at 980 yen. This page features an interview with Takako Inoue, a wrestler and talent, about her photo book, Make Love. The main theme of the photo book is described as erotic. In the interview, Inoue mentions that this is her 6th photo book, and she wanted to do something different from typical gravure idols. She explains that the theme erotic was chosen to be different from the usual innocent image, and she wanted to capture a more mature and sexy look, as she is now over 30. The profile section states that Takako Inoue was born on November 7, 1969, in Toride City, Ibaraki Prefecture. She is a professional wrestler and talent. It lists several titles she has won, including All Japan Women's Single, All Japan Tag, IWA Single, All Pacific, and WWWA Tag. Her photo book, Make Love, is currently on sale from Wani Books for 3,000 yen. There is also information about joining her fan club Marble, and contact details for inquiries. Her official website is also listed. This page is a manga report about Comiket 59, titled Mokyu Mokyu Dark Sky Heavenly Kingdom Chronicles, provisional title. It's written by Makita Yoshiharu. The report is about the author's experience at Comic Market 59 held in December. The manga mentions it's been a while since the New Year's holiday, and they hope everyone is doing well. It reports on the goods from the corporate booths, and then moves to the doujinshi area. The author describes the crowds as huge, saying it's hard to walk, and notes that not only doujin circles, but also corporate booths, including SoftBanks, had long queues. The author mentions buying various items on the 29th and making and selling doujinshi on the 30th, so they didn't buy much doujinshi themselves on that day. The next Comiket in August is mentioned, encouraging readers to visit and find something interesting. The author is described as a newcomer gal-style artist, and this manga is part of a series, with expectations for future developments. The 3 girls mentioned are Haruna, Kyoko, and Ayu. This page is a manga called Xbox Release Commemoration Manga, which is part of the Something Yoshimatsu Theater series, number 102. The manga opens by mentioning that the Xbox is fun and has 300 user colors, and the author thought it was a joke. The comic panels show characters, one with a box labeled 32 on their head and another with 64, who appear to be reacting to the Xbox launch in a comedic way. There's a scene with a car, characters looking in a mirror, and dialogue suggesting panic and confusion, with phrases like, "What?" "Inhumane tactic," and "false report," related to the Xbox. The characters seem to be involved in some kind of chaotic situation related to the Xbox launch. Anime releases and broadcasts are scheduled throughout January and into February. Sakura Wars TV Chapter 5, Six Gate Heavenly Monk Core Night 7, and the movie Jinro, The Wolf Brigade are all releasing on January 25th. Love Hina Process 6 and Magical Dormai DVD Collection Hato are already available, while Mashuranbo Volume 5 is available for rental. Tree in the Sunlight is slated for January 24th, and Kamen Rider Kuga Volume 2 on January 21st Street. TV broadcasts include CSCA TV Viewer Destruction Magic Light starting January 17th, and Cowboy Bebop on Animax beginning February 2nd. Destruction Magic Light is based on the manga Kuki no Kyojin. Cowboy Bebop will air all 26 episodes. The advertisement promotes the anime Karakuri Kiden Hiwo Senki, a late Edo period adventure based on a manga. The story features 9-meter-tall, spring-powered robots controlled by young people, interwoven with historical figures. The first video and DVD video containing episodes 1 and 2 releases January 24th. The DVD includes bonus content like illustrations and a booklet. The synopsis highlights a village of Karakuri users defending against the Fujin using a robot named Homura. Key characters are Haiwu, a robot controller, and Homura, a giant robot. The official website offers news, character info, downloads, and games. Finally, the ad also mentions the Rurouni Kenshin, OVA DVD BOX, a limited edition release of the Tsuyo Kuhin series on March 23, including English dubbing and commentary. Fumio Kurokawa's column discusses acquisition rumors surrounding Sega, specifically a December 2000 report in the New York Times claiming Nintendo was in talks to acquire Sega for $20 billion. Despite denials from Sega's president and a surge in stock prices, Kurokawa questions the veracity of the rumors and Sega's future strategy. He highlights challenges like Dreamcast sales, management issues, and financial losses in 2000. Accompanying news headlines reveal Konami's K1 item commercialization plans, staff departures at Enix and Sega, potentially due to restructuring, Sega's possible development of GBA software, speculation about Dreamcast being Sega's last hardware console, and stock acquisitions by companies like Arzi and Seta. The headlines also cover a science fiction writer's clone project. This page features reader feedback and humorous comments. In the reader's feedback box, opinions are shared on Dreamcast peripherals favoring arcade sticks, using PC speakers for improved game audio, and the recent software lineup. One reader laments the Dreamcast's reliance on sequels and ports, wishing for more original titles like Seaman and Skies of Arcadia, known as Eternal Arcadia in Japan. The This Week's Fukeism section contains humorous reader comments, including a remark about Sega Gaga, and another about LOENJEL. A point ranking lists various Dreamcast games with point values, seemingly based on reader popularity or magazine system. The guide to each corner outlines the magazine's sections, including reader submissions, illustrations, Dreamcast staff interactions, gag comics, serious consultation, dreams, game requests, shock therapy corners, new corner committee, new information, and more. Submission guidelines are provided for readers wanting to contribute to the magazine, including details on sending postcards with illustrations or text and email submissions. The page also includes a section titled Shenmue Final Chapter, presenting a humorous take on the game. Another section, Lake Angel, contains a reader's comment about the game series Lake Angel. This page continues with reader contributions and opinions. The Reader's Voice section features humorous comics and comments from readers with nicknames like Kanagawa Prefecture, Uni Monore, and Osaka Prefecture / Person in Charge. Meat Mania is another comic section featuring characters and jokes. There is a section titled Dreamcast is No Good, where readers list complaints about the Dreamcast, such as the lack of a cooling fan, quiet sound, overheating, limited playtime to 1 hour a day for games and internet games, and user complaints. This section culminates with the statement, and then the Dreamcast is in its current form. Another section, Dreamcast Games is No Good, lists games that readers dislike, including Let's Sell a Pro Baseball Team, Unpaya Crossel, Daytona USA 2001, Zombie Revenge, Aniki Star, Capcom vs. Evo, Marvel vs. Pocket Fighter, and Rice Ball Battle Tearers. Sakurito Tomo's profile is featured with her birth date as September 10th, her prefecture of origin as Chiba, her debut, and her work as a singer, stage actress, voice actress, and more. She is currently performing in Mariv Magical Passage, BAYFM, every week, Thursday 12/00/16/00. Finally, there's a year-end section discussing New Year's greetings, Christmas events, and upcoming Valentine's Day events, featuring chocolate and talk events with Sakurito Tomo. This page combines reader submissions and a CD release guide. The Reader's Voice section showcases humorous artwork and commentary. Readers from various prefectures like Shizuoka, Nagano, Hiroshima, Kumamoto, Okayama, Shiga, and Chiba contribute drawings and discuss topics ranging from Shenmue and Pokemon to original characters and puzzles, including Spot the Difference games. The CD release guide highlights new music released on January 24th. Featured singles include Toshinori Yonekura's R&B ballad, like Love Need, Kino's Be With You, Gomes the Hitman's Mirror Tongue Staccato, and Eames' debut single, Strawberry Tears. Albums include Hiroko Taniyama's Kokoro no Sumika, and Script's Script Is Here, described as a strong pop tune. This page showcases various reader contributions and columns. In the Super J Game Search Team section, there is a feature on Splatterhouse, which is actually Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti, a parody-style game from the series based on reader reports. Readers from Nagano and Hiroshima prefectures share their thoughts, with one mentioning Pokemon and Sugusuki. The Izugomen column humorously discusses exposure, madness, suspicion, and features Izugomen talking about wearing a coat because of the cold. The bottom of the page includes columns titled Structure, Excellence, featuring Chippo's 20th Century News, which seems to cover various news topics, and Preceding Seat. These appear to be general interest sections within the magazine. This page compiles reader contributions, including comments, requests, and announcements. Readers discuss various topics, from questions about tricolor crisis and art style appreciation, to requests for exam subjects and game creation. Concerns about deadlines and stock levels are also voiced. The Akasaka Agency section focuses on Dragon Quest II and Terubi Survey, encouraging submissions. Next issue's theme is revealed as Hope Springs Suffering, with humorous schedule examples. Finally, recommended books of the week are introduced, including survival guides and guidebooks like Tosuke Izumi's Roadside Japan Scenic Japanese Records, which explore unusual buildings and theme parks. This page showcases reader contributions, including fan art and game-related content. Artwork highlights include a heartwarming Doraemon illustration, a cozy image of Maria and Kana, and a vibrant maid character illustration. Other submissions feature screenshots from the game Canon and anime characters with varying comments. There's a car puzzle and a humorous speech bubble exchange. Additionally, the page features an article titled Net Life Game Making. It details a discussion about developing an online life simulation game. The conversation centers on incorporating complex character parameters beyond simple dice rolls, such as birth environment, aging, online infrastructure, and family backgrounds. Gameplay mechanics, including luck and earning by collecting and selling garbage, are also explored. The article concludes with a humorous note about a highly educated programmer's background. This page features content from a magazine. The Dorimaga Art Club section displays reader-submitted fan art, including Doraemon, Canon screenshots, and other anime-style illustrations. The Cinemas section recommends Dreamcast-compatible movies. This month's selections are Supernova, a space rescue film starring James Spader, and Drowned Fish, a suspense movie. The page also includes a game ranking chart, compiled from data collected between December 30, 2000, and January 5, 2001, across 5 districts. The top 3 games are Dynamite Cop, Virtua Limit, and Battle Royale. The Reader Contribution Corner Dream Maga Hot Springs features reader letters and comments. Topics include a reader enjoying Kaori Izumi wallpaper, another discussing tooth growth, and another seeking Dejiko no Omaipa. Readers also discuss Grandia 2 battles, Doraemon in the 22nd century, and Moeru J-Az, with editor Robo responding. Other discussions include a prediction about falling pebbles and fear of biohazard zombies. One reader enjoys scary games and anticipates Illbleed. Justice and Courage of Platon displays fan art. Weekly Aaron shows an illustration of Aaron with Robo-themed text bubbles. The Dream Maga Weekly section lists Dreamcast game releases and other events for the week of January 19th-25th. The next page highlights Phantasy Star Online, or PSO, delving into the game's mysteries with a direct Q&A from Sonic Team. It suggests that playing with just one character isn't enough to fully explore the game, and recommends creating a new character, pointing players to page 86 for gameplay tips. The page also teases the existence of hidden weapons obtainable in offline quests, mentioning rumors circulating among players. The page promotes enjoying PSO even more on a second playthrough by changing your character's costume. It reveals a command, KSKAUDONSU, to be entered as the character name during creation to unlock new costumes, suggesting that this will add 2 extra costume options and enhance the visual variety. The page asks if there are new costumes for other character types beyond the featured Hey Chumar. Creating a second character in Phantasy Star Online offers a fresh experience. When starting a new character, copy your guild card file to your VM to maintain your friend connections. Otherwise, you won't be able to find your existing friends. Thankfully, friends can still locate you regardless of your character because the game links your Dreamcast console to its serial number, not the character. The article also announces a Merry Christmas and Happy New Century event coinciding with the game's December 21st release. Expect network congestion due to the holiday season. Finally, the article highlights the fun of Symbol Chat, praising creative players who use it for expressive communication. This page delves into strategies for efficiently leveling up low-level characters in Phantasy Star Online, PSO. It recommends leveraging items and equipment from your previous, higher-level characters to give your new character a strong start. The article emphasizes the benefit of having trustworthy friends in PSO, suggesting you can rely on them to help transfer items to your new character. The page highlights the advantage of using a mag, a supportive pet in PSO, inherited from a previous character, stating it significantly boosts stats like attack power and hit rate right from the beginning. It also encourages online play with powerful characters as a quick way to level up, suggesting teaming up with higher-level players to defeat strong enemies swiftly. A section points out the importance of techniques, PSO's magic system, especially offensive techniques, for dealing damage, even to enemies with high defense. Using techniques effectively is presented as a key to leveling up faster, even just by running around and casting them. Finally, the page discusses interacting with overseas players, advising players to practice using the word select function for easier communication. It cautions against using Japanese-specific slang or face marks in chats with international players. It also suggests that understanding game rules is essential when playing with overseas players, especially regarding item trading and returns, and promotes clear communication by using word select to avoid misunderstandings. This page is a strategy guide for Phantasy Star Online, focusing on combat in the mines area against mechanical monsters. The guide emphasizes the importance of guns in this environment, as well as utilizing techniques like Zond for force characters to immobilize enemies. It details the battle strategy against the boss Volume Opt, explaining how to identify its location in the monitors during the first form and attack it there. For the second form, the advice is to constantly move in circles around the room to avoid damage, especially from missiles, and to attack when the boss exposes its back after certain attacks. There's also a section discussing rare weapons, supposedly only obtainable through offline quests. It shows a player character receiving a weapon badge and expresses curiosity about its purpose and how to acquire these special items, suggesting players consult others for information. The screenshots show typical Phantasy Star Online gameplay in the mines area and the boss Volume Opt battle. Player names visible in the screenshots include Kedizina, Elnak, Sakura, Kamachin, and Miso. This article from Sonic Team addresses player questions about Phantasy Star Online, PSO. Offline quest downloads will be available approximately 1 month after release. The hunter's license fee is now required. They confirm that section IDs affect item appraisals, influencing the types of items found. Photon blast combinations exist, resulting in higher damage when used together. The article then shifts to online play, addressing concerns about etiquette, particularly the issue of players requesting to see items, which can be a scam. They emphasize the importance of online self-defense and encourage players to learn from others' experiences. Finally, Sonic Team invites player questions and illustration submissions related to PSO, providing instructions on how to submit them via email. A fan-submitted illustration is featured as well. This page of Sachiko Kamimura's DC game Tiger Den is Volume 4 and is all about Mr. Driller. The manga strip features Sachiko Kamimura and Oresama, a self-proclaimed game expert cat, discussing the game. They describe Mr. Driller as a simple yet addictive puzzle game, where players dig downwards to 1,000 meters, destroying blocks along the way. Oresama initially thought the game was similar to Tetris or Puyo Puyo because of its block-based puzzle elements, but soon realized its unique digging mechanic made it stand out. Sachiko mentions playing the Saturn version and buying it. The strip humorously portrays the addictive nature of Mr. Driller and highlights its simple but engaging gameplay loop. Character profiles for both Sachiko Kamimura, who is an animator and illustrator who likes games, and Oresama the cat are included on the side, along with a URL to Sachiko Kamimura's personal website. The final panel shows Oresama stating that Mr. Driller is a solid, must-have game. This Dreamcast issue previews an exciting lineup of upcoming games. Leading the charge is The Psychology Game, a title that analyzes players' personalities through 7 different game types, including text input and sound-based tests, alongside 3 4-player minigames. The game also features network capabilities for data uploading and online comparisons. Other featured titles span various genres. These include Angel Present, 100 Swords, Eldorado Gate Volume 3, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Rhapsody of Zephyr, Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, Arrow Dancing On, Saskatsuku Special Edition, J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru, Daytona USA 2001, Gigawing 2, Gunspike, Project Justice, and Cardcaptor Sakura, Tomoyo's Video Great Battle. This page shines a spotlight on Angel Present, an upcoming adventure game for the Dreamcast. The game centers around Sekiwa Yu, a budding picture book author who journeys to the tranquil town of Asami no Sato in search of inspiration. During his 3-week stay while his mentor is away, Yu decides to complete his picture book, but soon discovers mysterious layer worlds within the town. These worlds are connected to the inner feelings of girls and influence reality. Gameplay involves exploring the town, interacting with residents, and gathering materials. Players will need to meet specific conditions to encounter the heroines and delve into their stories. The preview text suggests a focus on emotional depth and character interaction, with the tagline, "You will meet another me in the depths of my unknowing heart." Angel Present, categorized as an adventure game, is advertised as 100% complete and was scheduled for release on February 22nd at a price of 6,800 yen. The producer's comment highlights the game's high quality and invites players to unlock the hearts of the 5 central female characters. The next page delves deeper into Angel Present, an adventure game for the Dreamcast, exploring the themes of growing from girl to adult and discovering oneself through fragmented memories. It introduces Kozuki Irina, a key character, and her layer world, which is themed around saving a village from a plague. The page reveals that the gameplay involves experiencing these layer worlds, which then serve as inspiration and material for creating picture books. Gameplay screenshots suggest action RPG elements within these worlds. Irina's character profile highlights her determination to help, and her actions within her layer world are driven by a desire to aid a suffering angel. The page emphasizes the connection between the girl's inner feelings and the challenges presented in the layer worlds, reinforcing the game's focus on emotional and personal growth. This page continues the exploration of Angel Present, an adventure game where girls confront their inner feelings within layer worlds to create picture books. It introduces Saika's Layer World, focused on a mermaid character named Saika and a treasure hunt with a crocodile pirate gang in a port setting. The gameplay involves Saika's encounters with the crocodile pirates and overcoming challenges in the sea to find treasure. Another layer world showcased is Yuki's Layer World, featuring bug spirits who selfishly utilize ants. Here, players will likely interact with these bug spirits and navigate their world. Yuki, a bug spirit herself, is presented as a key character in this realm. Finally, the page highlights Mayoigano Yubika and her layer world, which seems to revolve around saying goodbye to a carefree, my-pace lifestyle. Yubika is a high school girl known for her love of bug collecting and her studious nature, often found in the reference library discussing insects with librarians. Her current challenge is job hunting, hinting at themes of growing up and societal expectations. This page continues the coverage of Angel Present, a Dreamcast title exploring girls' inner worlds through layer worlds and picture book creation. Here, we delve into Ayame's layer world, which is called Siberian Railway Murder Incident. This world is described as a dreamlike landscape, bathed in light, where Ayame confronts dream spirits. The narrative hints at a murder incident within a Siberian railway setting, and involves scissors as a key element to resolve the situation. Ayame's character profile reveals her initial practicality, aiming for university due to societal expectations. However, witnessing Nagi's passion and skill in hairdressing inspires Ayame to embrace her own dreams. This contrast is highlighted in the section titled, "Dream? Reality? Now, that's what I decide," focusing on Nagi. Nagi, initially hesitant about pursuing her dreams and feeling constrained by expectations, is profoundly impacted by Ayame's free spirit. Saying, "Inyame confidently cutting hair" makes Nagi realize she too can choose her path. Syoko's Layer World, titled Blooming Flowers in a Decayed World, introduces a contrasting environment. It's a monochrome, desolate world where a flower spirit resides amidst decay, symbolizing hope. Shioko's character profile depicts her as a once-admired senior and piano teacher, now facing societal pressures and a feeling of lost freedom, contrasting with Nagi's newfound determination to live for myself, rejecting the expected path and embracing personal fulfillment. This page is dedicated to 100 Swords, a Dreamcast title focused on large-scale battles and strategic leadership. The game revolves around leader units, which players control to issue commands, manage resources, and engage in combat. The page highlights the concept of leader characters, emphasizing their central role in the game system. It explains that leaders command troops, typically around 10 to 20 soldiers, and players direct these leaders to control up to 100 units in battle. Leader characters are represented by unique polygon models to enhance visibility amidst the large unit counts. One section introduces Zarn Karyastea as a leader character, describing him as a cool and logical tactician with expertise in Lupestrian technology. He leads flying archers and positions himself on the front lines. Another character mentioned is Diamond Arfelis, the protagonist and crown prince of the Narval Kingdom. He's portrayed as a heroic figure on horseback. The page promotes the 100 Swords trial version included in the Dreamcast Magazine GD, inviting readers to experience the game's world and gameplay system before its January 26th release. It encourages players to learn the basics of commanding troops through the leader's perspective. 100 Swords gameplay involves resource gathering, building, soldier creation, combat, and base destruction. Players command leaders through 4 systems: movement, building, combat, and barracks. Movement allows leaders to navigate the map with contextual cursor changes. The building system covers resource acquisition, construction, and destruction of enemy structures, with cooperative building providing faster construction. Combat initiates after movement selection targeting enemies, or automatically when encountering enemies. The barracks system enables unit recruitment, upgrades, and weapon development, including golems. Leader death results in troops remaining stationary and automatically rejoining a new leader brought near them. The next page details the setting of a game featuring 4 nations embroiled in continental warfare. The game's world is a large continent, once a single empire, now divided. The story centers on 2 nations and their rulers. Naluaval, a horse-riding nation in the east, led by the young King Rafe, known for its powerful military and now advocating for peace despite past conquests, and Mascar, an infantry-focused nation in the west ruled by a masked king, with military orders issued through advisor Mirabor and controlled by Princess Lentz, seeking to unleash resentment against Naluaval. Naluaval's goal is to defeat Mascar and establish lasting world peace, while Mascar aims to avenge past grievances against Naluaval. Key characters for Naluaval include Johann Arblas, Raif's childhood friend, and Nil Schreickman, while Mascar's characters are Mirabor and Princess Priscilla Carline. The page suggests strategic gameplay focused on nation ideologies and warfare, potentially related to unit types based on nation specializations like cavalry for Naluaval and infantry for Mascar. This appears to be a deeper dive into the game mechanics and world setup of what we now know is 100 Swords. This page continues detailing the nations in the game, focusing on 2 factions, Gran and Luprastri, and how they influence the game modes previously described. Gran, the magic nation, aims for eternal world peace through intellect and magic. Princess Falfa rules Gran, and the wise Igor is a key figure. Their military strength relies on magical power. The nation's background describes Falfa becoming queen after her mother's attempted assassination and her quest for revenge and peace. The accompanying screenshot depicts a battle scene with magical units. On the other side, Luprastri is the commercial nation, emphasizing military strength centered around archers and leadership. Their ideal is to achieve world unification through economic and military power. Key characters are Gil Road-Kilhay and Ellis Arlington. Luprastri's background mentions their commercial prosperity and recent military strengthening due to the emergence of Sif, who is implementing policies focused on military mechanization. The screenshot for Luprastri shows a battle with mechanical units and archers. This page from Dreamcast Magazine introduces sub-characters for the upcoming Eldorado Gate Volume 3 RPG. The feature focuses on Chapter 8, titled Pamela's Memories, Search for the Box of Memories. The central character is Pamela, who has lost her memory and is accompanied by a dog that holds a key to her past, represented by a box. The story involves searching for this box to restore Pamela's memories. Screenshots show in-game scenes and character stats for Ayn, including their equipment of a silver sword, heavy plate, and badge of knowledge, and the ability to strategically build your party by considering equipment and special abilities is highlighted as a key gameplay element. There's also a section called Check! Follow Thomas's Footsteps, which suggests another storyline or character to follow in the game. The article emphasizes the intrigue surrounding Pamela's story and the importance of strategic party building in Eldorado Gate Volume 3. This page continues the Eldorado Gate Volume 3 coverage, moving on to Chapter 7, titled To the Capital of Water. Here, the adventure divides the party into 2 teams to tackle obstacles. We are introduced to new characters like Gomezu and Ayn, who are tasked with truffle hunting and other missions. The page spotlights Mashimo, an inventor residing in Vanisu village, known for his distinctive speech patterns and eccentric nature, suggesting he might be a source of unusual items. Information about dogs in Tole village is also highlighted, hinting at a quest involving gathering clues, perhaps linked to Pamela's storyline from the previous page. The feature then shifts to the Balan gang's hideout, located in the arid wastelands, where players are on the trail of Thomas. Finally, a mysterious woman linked to Pamela and a significant box is mentioned, and the bizarre password of the Balan gang, Ballo, is revealed. This page delves further into Eldorado Gate and focuses on special abilities. Producer Takahita Hiroyuki is interviewed about these abilities, explaining they are special powers characters gain upon awakening. The article highlights Pamela, describing her as a multi-fighter who can use various weapon types like swords, knives, and spears, making her a valuable party member due to her versatile combat skills. The page also introduces new special abilities through in-game screenshots. Canaan's emblem is discussed in relation to a goddess statue and a character called Cyrene, suggesting a connection to magical stones and awakenings that enhance magical power. A section titled Soul Painting mentions Pamela joining the party in Volume 3 and encourages players to submit fan art. The Big Chance section describes a scenario event taking place in Kanagawa Prefecture involving Gabu and a boss called Sugisaramu. Lastly, there's a fan letter corner addressed to Kazu-san, featuring fan submissions, and at the bottom, contact information is provided for submitting fan content to the magazine. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game, Mercurius Pretty, End of the Century, a fantasy simulation game focusing on the education of a spirit. The advert highlights the game's premise of raising a homunculus, asking, "What kind of child will you raise?" Screenshots showcase in-game scenes with character interactions and dialogue, emphasizing the gameplay experience. The advertisement also promotes the Mercurius Pretty official guide, suggesting it contains comprehensive information about the game, including gameplay methods, character parameters, and event details. The next page highlights the upcoming Dreamcast title, Ultimate Fighting Championship. It emphasizes that the game is almost complete at 100% and scheduled for release on January 25th, for 5,800 yen. The page boasts the game as a faithful recreation of UFC, allowing players to execute various fighting styles with simple controls, including punches, kicks, throws, joint locks, and submissions, in a Veil Tudo style. It also mentions diverse game modes and a fighter edit mode for deep customization, and it is designed to be accessible to both casual and hardcore fighting fans. Screenshots display in-game fighting action with fighters like Marco Ruas and Mark Coleman, along with menus showing character selection and fighter customization options for Randy Couture. The page also features a UFC news section showcasing real-world fighters like Randy Couture, Tito Ortiz, and Mirko Cro Cop, implying their inclusion in the game. It points out the game's attention to detail, featuring realistic UFC staging, fighter entrances, and even commentators like Bruce Buffer and referees like John McCarthy, aiming for a high level of realism beyond just the fighting mechanics. This page provides a detailed breakdown of the gameplay mechanics for Ultimate Fighting Championship on Dreamcast. It highlights the game's unique system, focused on reading your opponent and executing reversals. The page covers various aspects of combat, starting with stand-up fighting, which includes striking offense and defense. It explains how to catch strikes to gain an advantage, and initiate takedowns to bring the fight to the ground. The guide then moves into ground fighting, detailing advantageous positions, such as guard, mount, and back mount, each offering different offensive and defensive possibilities. It explains the controls for ground attacks, which primarily revolve around punches and submission moves, and emphasizes reading the opponent's movements for successful counters. The page stresses the game's dynamic nature, where reversals are always possible, encouraging players to fight until the end, regardless of the situation. This page delves into the story and characters of the RPG, The Rhapsody of Zephyr. It focuses on the protagonist, Cyrano, and his motivations for his journey, which are not simply to save the world, but more personal and complex. The page highlights 3 key motivations for Cyrano: revenge against a betrayer, seeking the truth, and his feelings for a loved one. The page introduces several key characters and their relationships. Reuben and Iscariot are presented as betrayers from 14 years prior to the game's start. Cesare is Cyrano's father. Mercedes is Cyrano's childhood sweetheart, now married to another man, but still, someone Cyrano can't forget. The article suggests that all of Cyrano's motivations are linked to these relationships and events. The text teases the idea that the truth might be visible on the battlefield itself. The Rhapsody of Zephyr follows Cyrano's journey, beginning with his escape and quest for the magic sword Ashura on Barth Island. After battling monsters and receiving guidance from Eileen, he obtains the sword. Returning, he defeats the pirate captain Silverna, who joins his party. Later, in Caracas village, Cyrano encounters the Zephyr Falcon Revolutionary Army and gets involved in their conflict with the Empire. Karna, a commander within Zephyr Falcon, eventually joins Cyrano's group. This Dreamcast version features dynamic boss battles and an accurate map display function, with auto-mapping, enhancing the gameplay experience with moving bosses and detailed world exploration. This page showcases Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future for the Dreamcast, which is scheduled for release on January 25th. It's promoted as an immersive aquatic adventure. The page highlights the impressive graphics and gameplay, emphasizing the freedom of movement players will experience as Echo. The article mentions that this installment introduces Joban, stages and sub-characters to add depth to the story. It teases the unfolding narrative. The smoothness of Echo's movements is praised as a key feature, suggesting intuitive and enjoyable controls. The screenshots depict gameplay in the Aquamarine Bay stage, emphasizing the role of Echo as a guardian tasked with saving Earth. The text hints at a storyline where Echo is chosen as a savior, a guardian, and embarks on a journey to Atlantis to protect the planet. It also sets up Stage 2 Perils of the Coral Reefs, where players will confront dangerous sharks in a beautiful coral environment. The page mentions that Echo will learn the shark song to navigate challenging situations, implying puzzle solving and combat mechanics. It also alludes to rescuing baby dolphins, adding an element of protection and compassion to the gameplay. The game promises encounters with giant sharks and the need to utilize skill stones. Overall, the page presents Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, as a visually stunning and engaging action-adventure game with a compelling story and innovative gameplay mechanics. Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, utilizes songs and skills as primary gameplay mechanics. Songs, activated by sonar, affect creatures differently, like the shark song, which immobilizes enemies. Skills are learned through events. Information crystals, guided by the Guardian of Atlantis, provide hints and messages. Stage 3, Trial Without Terror, introduces new songs and skills. Echo searches for a lost baby dolphin, encountering mother dolphins, and facing sharks. The game features various sea creatures, whales, friendly giants communicating via ultrasonic cries, jellyfish, venomous and requiring cautious interaction, sharks, aggressive predators to be overcome using skills like the shark song, turtles, cautious and responsive to sonar, and sea anemones, brightly colored but dangerous to touch. This page is about Aero Dancing Is, a Dreamcast air combat simulation game, emphasizing its advancements over Aero Dancing F. The game focuses on realistic air combat with detailed missile types, advanced radar and missile guidance systems, and a refined HUD to enhance the pilot experience. It features a wide variety of missiles from different countries, including the US, Japan, and the former Soviet Union. Aero Dancing On includes 4-player online multiplayer, ground attack missions, and an expanded arsenal of missile types. Screenshots show in-game cockpit views and the fighter selection screen, displaying aircraft such as the F-16, F/A-18, AV-8, A-7, A-10, and AV-8B. Released in Japan on February 15th for 6,800 yen, the game is categorized as a simulation game, SLG, and a trial version was also available. The article presents Aero Dancing ID as the ultimate evolution of the Aero Dancing series. The next page delves into the ground attack aspect of Aero Dancing ID, highlighting that even beginners can master these techniques in the training mode. This training covers fundamental flight controls, air-to-air combat, and now, ground attack maneuvers. The basic flight training teaches the essential controls and how to interpret the HUD. Air-to-air training focuses on weapon usage, especially missiles and guns, and finer points of aerial dogfighting. Air-to-surface training specifically covers ground attack methods using missiles and bombs, and the differences between these weapon types are explained. A dedicated section called Point clarifies the distinction between air-to-ground missiles and bombs. It explains that guided air-to-ground missiles are ideal for hitting moving targets, while bombs, being free-fall, are better suited for stationary targets due to their wider blast radius and greater destructive power. However, bombs carry a risk of self-damage if deployed too close to the ground. Finally, There's a news snippet announcing that a playable trial version of Aerodancing id will be included in the next issue of Dreamcast Magazine, hitting shelves on January 26th. This trial version will feature both air combat and ground attack missions, offering a taste of the full game's capabilities. This Dreamcast Magazine feature focuses on player development in Saskatsuku, known as Sega Pocket Club Football, specifically on overseas training. The guide details 6 initial training locations with varying costs and benefits. Johannesburg, South Africa, boosts technical and physical attributes for forwards, but lowers defensive awareness. Valladolid, Spain, is ideal for midfielders, enhancing playmaking and stamina. Prague, Czech Republic, improves defensive tactics and is best for defenders. Coimbra, Portugal, offers a broad but shallow training approach. Santiago, Chile, focuses on forwards and 4-3-3 tactics. Porto Alegre, Brazil, significantly improves dribbling and kicking for forwards and midfielders, but decreases goalkeeper skills. Additional training locations can be unlocked by employing regional coaches, forming sister city relationships, and leveling up the home city. This page from Dreamcast Magazine delves into the depths of player development in Saskatsuku, also known internationally as Sega Pocket Club Football. The focus is on how overseas training impacts player abilities, categorizing training styles into 3 systems. First, it outlines 3 distinct ability improvement patterns based on the training location. Limit ability system, which prioritizes maximizing potential, real ability system that emphasizes improving current skills, and average system, which balances both. The magazine conducts an experiment by sending a player named Otake Hidehito for 1 year to clubs representing each system. Johannesburg FC, representing the limit ability system, significantly boosts stamina and heading skills, useful for forwards, although team play integration suffers initially, but abilities improve. Coimbra FC, for the real ability system, shows minimal noticeable improvement after a year despite continuous training, suggesting focusing on current abilities might have less immediate impact. Santiago FC, embodying the average system, sees a balanced improvement in shooting and suitability for striker and post player roles, indicating a more rounded development. Further investigation examines the duration of overseas training. Sending a player to Valladolid FC for half a year results in only minor overall improvements. However, extending the training to a full year at Valladolid FC yields considerably better results, demonstrating that longer durations are more effective, particularly for locations suited for short-term stays like Valladolid. It suggests that the optimal study abroad period is linked to the training location's characteristics and desired outcomes. This page continues the analysis of Sega Pocket Club Football, focusing on the impact of ground facilities on training efficiency. It investigates how different ground conditions and the number of grounds affect player development. The page shows a table comparing different ground facility levels. It details the effect of lighting, grass length, short and long, and number of grounds on various player attributes categorized as technical, physical, individualization, and mental. The table uses letter grades from A to E, with A being the highest improvement and E the lowest, showing how each facility type influences different skill areas. Further experiments compare the effect of short versus long grass pitches on player fatigue over a 3-week training period, concluding that short grass leads to less fatigue compared to long grass. Another experiment analyses the impact of adding a second ground compared to having only one ground over a year-long training period. The results indicate that having a second ground generally leads to better player development in stats such as running ability, stamina, and kicking power. However, it notes that for players with low initial ability, or those over 30, the effect of adding a ground might be less pronounced. The page concludes that improving ground facilities is an effective way to enhance player development in Sega Pocket Club Football. The next page introduces recommended players in J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru. It features 6 players across different positions. First is FW Katsuo Osaka, described as a natural striker who excels in goal scoring, especially useful when offensive power is lacking, and specializes in left-side attacks. Next is OMF Kazuya Motomura, noted for his exceptional kicking accuracy as a playmaker, delivering precise passes. His peak performance is expected in his late 20s, with promising potential. Then there is OMF Rosada, highlighted for his high passing ability, specializing in final passes and through balls. He's suited for wing play and considered an average growth type player. SDF Kenichi Hirose is recognized for his running ability, utilizing his speed for both defense and attack, and is expected to peak in his 30s. GK Mitsuhide Taguri stands out with his rushing out skills as an aggressive goalkeeper, known for his resilience, and being a notable Japanese GK with a standard growth pattern, peaking around 25. Finally, GK Kenji Yokomura is praised for his top-tier goalkeeping technique, possessing high aptitude and known as an iron wall, representing Japan. He has high pride and should be nurtured carefully. This page is a basic knowledge lecture for Gigawing 2, a shooting game. It explains the scoring system and the nature of the two types of reflect attacks, reflect force and reflect laser. The scoring system is detailed in Point 1, Score Calculation, explaining that the score is determined by the accumulated remaining time when defeating stage bosses, multiplied by a magnification of 2000, and the remaining bombs when clearing a stage, multiplied by a magnification of 15,000. Point 2, Reflect Force and Reflect Laser Properties, discusses the characteristics of these two reflect types. Reflect Force reflects bullets back at enemies, useful for dealing damage to large groups. Reflect Laser absorbs enemy bullets and then unleashes a laser attack, which is effective against single targets and is guaranteed to hit. The page highlights that for high scores, Reflect Force is recommended due to the potential for volcanon phenomena, likely referring to a chain reaction or high scoring opportunity. However, for beginners, Reflect Laser is suggested as easier to use and master initially. The advice is to start with Laser and then transition to Force for more advanced play. There are screenshots illustrating examples of using both Reflect Force and Reflect Laser, including failures and successes. Additionally, there is a picture of the character Rimi in a swimsuit, which seems to be a light-hearted inclusion. The text states that Reflect Force is better for scoring, while Reflect Laser is easier for beginners who are just starting out with the game. This Gigawing 2 strategy guide provides character-specific advice for maximizing scores. Kurt and Kingfisher benefit from volcanon use, especially on bosses due to their slow speed. Cherie and Stork have the highest scoring potential, utilizing their homing shot, with volcanon strategy for specific stage 2 and 3 sections. Largo and Albatross excel at close-range combat, requiring volcanon and bombs for the stage 2 Cloud Sea boss and stage 3 boss. Romy and Sparrow have the strongest shot, which improves with leveling, and they should focus on boss scoring initially, with stage 3 requiring pattern memorization. Remy and Raven are versatile, allowing practice with both force and laser volcanon, excelling in boss battles. Each character section includes target scores for stages 1, 2, and 3, split between force and laser weapon usage, guiding players in maximizing scores. This page is a guide for the Dreamcast game Cardcaptor Sakura, Tomoeda's special video strategy. It's focused on helping players complete all the secret objectives in the game's Tomoyo's Room. The guide mentions adjusting difficulty settings to unlock all objectives. It then reveals special stage filming instructions including best shot and secret objectives for Stage 3, Scene 1, Thunder Card and Mid-Air Battle, and Stage 3, Scene 2, Thunder's Pursuit to School. For Stage 3, Scene 1, best shot instructions involve capturing Sakura and Kero in front view or side view with zoom. Secret objectives include capturing Sakura, Kero, and Thunder cards in specific positions. For Stage 3 Scene 2, best shot instructions are for Kero and Thunder, with side view and zoom. Secret objectives involve capturing Thunder and Sakura and Kero together. The guide gives specific button inputs and directions for capturing these shots, and provides advice on handling fast-moving Thunder cards and positioning characters in the frame. It also mentions that in harder difficulty settings, secret objectives become more challenging and offer hints within the game. The guide further explains how to use the filming guide option to help with shot composition and timing. It also gives advice on capturing Sakura and Kero together in right-facing shots, and how to seize the moment when Thunder pauses to take photos. This guide for Cardcaptor Sakura on Dreamcast focuses on Stage 3 and special stages. Scene 2 of Stage 3 advises players to zoom in on Sakura and then position on her right for the best shots. The guide details best and secret shot objectives for Stage SP scenes in both easy and normal modes, differing on character combinations: Sakura, Yukito, Mambo, Penguin, Snow Rabbitson. It also suggests special stages are generally easy. The guide also discusses Snow Rabbit Chan DX gameplay, emphasizing small chain creation to clear blocks efficiently, especially during continuous chains, and the importance of chain combos. The CPU Snow Rabbit San appears after clearing 7 faces within 15 minutes. Finally, a news section announces a Dreamcast Magazine and Cardcaptor Sakura video contest with prizes of autographed posters and illustrations, running from January 19th to February 2nd. Participants need to register their data via the Dreamcast homepage using specific steps outlined. The contest encourages creative filming, emphasizing unique approaches to secure prizes with a daily entry limit. The next page is a strategy guide for Daytona USA Circuit Edition on Sega Saturn, focusing on or strategy for 2 courses. The target time is 036000. It details tips for the National Park Speedway course at points A, B, and C. Point A advises to go full throttle. Point B emphasizes grip driving, avoiding drifts, and downshifting to 3rd gear while maintaining speed above 250 km per hour. Point C suggests a momentary 2-step downshift for a hairpin turn. The guide describes 3 car types: Grasshopper, Falcon, and Lightning, outlining their strengths and weaknesses. Finally, it reveals a secret car, the Red Cat, obtainable by winning 1 net battle, and lists its performance stats. This guide focuses on the Desert City track in Daytona USA 2001 for Dreamcast, aiming for a 44.200 target time. Driving advice is broken down into 5 key points: AE, covering drifting, line selection, understeer management, escape speed, and the final corner. Different car types, Grasshopper, Falcon, Lightning, are also detailed, with the Grasshopper being beginner-friendly, the Falcon stable, and the Lightning requiring careful accelerator control. The guide also reveals the secret unicorn car. This high-acceleration, high-speed car surpasses the Lightning in performance. However, it's challenging to handle due to low tire grip. Unlocking the unicorn requires completing championship mode. Developers intended the unicorn as a pace car, easy to use for good lap times, but its sensitive steering demands skill. This Gunspike guide focuses on the challenging final stages, 8 to 10, where the 4 Heavenly Kings appear. Players are encouraged to conserve health and special attacks for the toughest encounters, aiming for a no-continue clear on subsequent playthroughs. The guide breaks down enemy encounters and boss strategies. Geofont Entrance details the elevator descent to the enemy base, featuring Balrog and Kabuki. The Zakko battle section covers the Gunroid skaters and prioritizing gun pods. Boss strategies include using special attacks against the enhanced Balrog and circling him. For Dragomaster, dash attacks and wall jumps are advised. The Revenger Kabuki battle stresses recognizing his patterns, eliminating the initial Gunroids on the right, and using long-range special attacks. The Attention Enemy section briefly describes Gunroid skaters, gun pods, and Dragomasters, offering counter-strategies for their attacks. This page is a Gunspike guide focusing on the later stages of the game, specifically stages 8 through 10. It details boss battle strategies within the Deep Shrine and Extreme Sphere areas. The Deep Shrine section covers the boss, Cat Lady Beauty. The strategy involves taking out the half-Kerberos enemies first, then focusing on Beauty herself, as her close-range attacks are weak spots when you are behind her. Extreme Sphere features strategies for 3 bosses: Metal Blade Nightmare, Psychosaur Sting, and Flame Robo Nightmare. Metal Blade Nightmare strategy details its attack patterns, such as blade strikes, beam attacks, and homing missiles. The guide recommends close-quarters combat, but warns about its close-range attacks, and suggests heavy attacks for certain characters. Psychosaur Sting strategy involves taking out the 4 knight enemies first. It suggests using special attacks to eliminate them quickly, and then focusing on Sting, highlighting its beam attacks and body slam. Flame Robo Nightmare section notes its attack patterns and advises keeping distance to evade attacks, even though it appears impossible to avoid them at first glance. The page also briefly mentions Players Challenge to 5, entering the 2nd week, which seems to be about challenging players to complete the game without, continues in the 2nd week, implying increased difficulty and encouraging players to aim for no-continue clears to see the ending. This Guilty Gear X strategy guide details offensive techniques focusing on the tension gauge, which fuels powerful moves. Positive play, attacking, being attacked, builds the gauge, while negative play depletes it. 3 key gauge-consuming techniques are explained: Faultless Defense, dead angle attack, a guard cancel attack, and Roman cancel, which interrupts moves for combos. Negative penalty reduces the gauge by not attacking, staying still, or running away. The guide also covers faultless defense cancel, allowing cancels during certain moves, and provides notes on Roman cancel usage, emphasizing its importance for combos and extending block strings. Roman cancel removes momentum in the air, impacting aerial combat. Screenshots illustrate the discussed mechanics and techniques. This page continues the Guilty Gear X strategy guide, now focusing on jump cancels and dust attacks. It explains jump cancels as a technique to extend combos and create new offensive opportunities, applicable both on the ground and in the air. Ground jump cancels can create variations in Gatling combos, while aerial jump cancels allow for more dynamic air-to-air combat and approaching from the air. The guide highlights using jump cancels with falling special moves for quick descents and continued attacks. It emphasizes damage potential by jump canceling Gatling combos. The page then details dust attacks, describing them as mid-level attacks unblockable, with crouching guard, launching opponents into the air for follow-up combos when successful. It discusses incorporating dust attacks into Gatling combos and wake-up strategies, suggesting they are effective for catching opponents off guard. Finally, a dust attack performance list table is presented, ranking characters based on their dust attack properties: release, startup frames, reach, range, and hardness, plus frame advantage on block. Characters like Soul Bad Guy, KY Kiske, Mei, Milia Rage, and Zato 1 are listed with their dust attack data. Faust's dust attack is noted to have invincibility frames at the beginning. This page announces the Naomi arcade version of Guilty Gear X National Tournament Finals called Summy's Cup, set to take place on February 11, 2001, at Ikebukuro Sunshine City. The page details event specifics like admission costs and planned activities such as the Sammy's Cup Finals, a Guilty Gear market, cosplay contests, and merchandise sales. There's also a character popularity poll featured, revealing Kai topping the ranks, followed by Milia and then Mei. The top 7 characters with their points are listed, showing the fan favorites at the time. A New Year Present Strongest Plan section details a giveaway where players can win a rare GGX Inst card, an arcade instruction card. The contest involves players challenging Sammy in a 3-round match in the Naomi version of GGX, and 3 lucky winners will receive this unique prize. The page also promotes the Guilty Gear X Heavy Rock Tracks soundtrack CD, highlighting it as the original soundtrack of Dreamcast. A track list is presented, and release details are given, including the date and price of the CD. Finally, the page showcases what they call the strongest product, the GGX Arcade Instruction Card itself. It features in-game screenshots and explanations of core mechanics like Gatling combos, faultless defense, and Roman cancels, emphasizing its rarity and value for dedicated players. This page is an illustration appreciation festival, showcasing fan art submissions for Guilty Gear X. The page features a New Year's card from Sammy section, indicating it's a special New Year edition. Numerous fan-submitted illustrations of Guilty Gear X characters are displayed, with artist names and prefectures. Comments within the page express appreciation for the variety of characters drawn and the overall atmosphere of the artwork. The text mentions the recent Dreamcast release of Guilty Gear X, welcoming new artists and recognizing the increased fan art submissions due to the game's popularity on the Dreamcast. It is highlighted that this section is for new faces to showcase their art, and they encourage continued submissions due to the high competition to be featured. This page is a strategy guide for rival schools, United by Fate, known in Japan as Moero Justice Gakuen on Dreamcast. It details how to unlock the hidden character Demon Hayo by viewing all story branches in story mode. The guide points out 4 specific locations in the story where branches occur across different school storylines, including Taiyo High, Goring Forest High, Pacific High, and Justice High. Demon Hayo is described as a powerful boss character with long reach and destructive power. The page also provides a battle strategy section focusing on Batsu Ichimonji, highlighting his versatile special moves, including air attacks, and offering combo examples. It gives advice on using Batsu as a partner and strategies for attacking downed opponents and anti-air combat. This page continues the strategy guide for rival schools, United by Fate. It focuses on 2 more characters, Ran Hibiki and Shoma Sawamura. For Ran, the guide acknowledges she has limited offensive options, but suggests using her unique film mechanic effectively. As a partner, Ran is described as difficult to use due to her short reach making it hard to coordinate two-player attacks. The guide advises players to ensure Ran always has film loaded to maximize her effectiveness. It also mentions using a one-shot reversal airburst as a key technique, starting with weak punches, followed by stronger attacks, and culminating in an airburst. Several combo examples are provided utilizing airbursts and short airbursts. Turning to Shoma, the guide highlights his short reach as a weakness that needs to be overcome with determination. It recommends focusing on counter airbursts as a strategy. As a partner, Shoma is described as useful due to his strong punch attack, which can launch opponents, and his neketsu, hot-blooded, combos. The guide suggests initiating combos from a weak punch and emphasizes hitting opponents with strong guard in the back of the head as a key tactic. Several neketsu combo examples are provided for Shoma. This page announces Capcom's matching service for online play for a game, and it mentions that 03 is also on the horizon, hinting at Street Fighter 03. Before starting the matching service version, players are instructed to load their regular game data. The page highlights Gyoki Giki Gundam, Marching to Form, showcasing hidden units and their unique capabilities obtainable in the Technodome. It notes that these units possess special abilities not found in regular units, offering a one-point advice section. The Attention box points out changes to the Sound box and Karaoke box, mentioning new songs and karaoke themes added to the Sound box, indicating updated content in this area. The page details the Hero Challenge mode, explaining how to earn special titles. It lists ranks and titles achievable based on score ranges, from Extreme of Strongest Hero at the top to Just a Hero Robot at the bottom. It further describes how points are calculated in this mode, focusing on remaining time, damage taken, and finishing moves, giving tips on maximizing scores by minimizing damage and utilizing final attacks. Finally, it introduces DC original content, featuring a customized robot named Prodea 2 Custom. It also spotlights another unit, Dixon Experiment, detailing its enhanced attack power, sword reach, and ability to perform a 4-stage jump in the air. The next page continues to focus on Street Fighter 03 for matching service, announcing that online battles are now supported in this version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. It highlights the All ISM Edit feature, allowing players to customize their character's ISM select and stats, offering freedom to create unique fighters. The page details Communication Battle for online play, showcasing the mode menu with a network option for internet battles and score rankings. It mentions that unique, customized characters can be used online. Furthermore, the page introduces X options, which are hidden options to expand gameplay in Super Street Fighter 03 for matching service. It explains how to access these options by holding R or X buttons while entering the option screen. The EX options include settings for SP gauge, bonus stages, handicap, and time lag, emphasizing their usefulness for practice and friendly matches. Finally, a section titled Simple Gookie Select Method reveals an easier way to select Gookie, Akuma. It states that on the character select screen, pressing and holding 3 buttons and then pressing Start will allow players to choose Gookie. This page is an advertisement showcasing SoftBank's strategy guides for various games. It promotes their books as essential for conquering both new releases and classic titles. Currently available guides include data collections for Cyber Troopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram and Triangle Heart, navigation guides for Phantasy Star Online, and official guides for Mercurius Pretty and Digimon Adventure 02D1 Tamers. There's also a Kakurizuki anthology comic available. Upcoming guides are teased for mid-January for Project Justice and early February for Guilty Gear X, Sega Professional Soccer, Super Robot Wars Compact 2 Part 3, Galactic Decisive Battle, Phantasy Star Online, Dead or Alive 2, Hardcore on PlayStation 2, and Favorite Deer, Junpaku no Yogensha on PlayStation. The advertisement also highlights popular titles of the time, such as Onimusha, Klonoa 2, Lunatea's Veil, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, The Bouncer, Mobile Suit Gundam, Dark Cloud, Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, Tales of Eternia, F, Momo's Cavalry Corps, Angels Present, Marl Kingdom Story, Global Forktale, and Bloody Roar 3. This page showcases reader submissions and tips for Dreamcast games. First up, for Project Justice, a reader revealed a hidden character from Power Stone 2, Powered Akira. Moving on to Black Matrix AD Advance. A bonus point trick is shared. Level up your units in battle without allocating points, then soft reset. This keeps the bonus points for future use. Next, there's a tip on unlocking a hidden costume for Powered Akira in Power Stone 2. At the character select screen, Hold A and Y while pressing start until the round begins. For Sega bass fishing, there's a way to get the special Yugawa lure. In consumer mode, register your name as HYUK to unlock this lure. A screenshot shows the lure in action, catching a fish. Finally, there's a call for more reader submissions to Dreamamaga's Back Technique Corner. They're looking for tips on Dreamcast and software tricks. Prizes are mentioned for the best submissions, ranging from Dreamcast software to book vouchers and magazine merchandise. This page presents a strategy guide for ground battles in Marionette Handler 2. Entitled Instantly Effective MHN Lecture, it features Navichan explaining tactics for situations where jumping is restricted. The guide highlights two main points. Firstly, that enemy attacks become harder to avoid due to the jump restriction, and secondly, that landmine attacks become more prevalent. To counter these challenges, the guide suggests using obstacles as cover, especially for light and agile mechs, to evade enemy fire. For landmines, it advises using shields to push through them, recommending players move while guarding, and even use machine guns to clear mines. A section called Handler's Wisdom Bag promotes a fan page for Marionette Handler 2 created by AT, a regular on the game's official BBS. This fan page offers tips and tricks, including AT-style flight lecture, and information on the differences between weight and movement chips, promising in-depth and unique content for players. In the top right, game data for Marionette Handler 2 is provided, noting it as a programming robot battle simulation developed by Micronet, released in Japan in November 2000. It supports one player, but up to 16 players can participate in tournaments. This page reviews a versatile combat program for Marionette Handler 2, designed for both close and long-range combat. The program utilizes shotgun and laser sword, with grenades and landmines, prioritizing short, decisive battles. The review details the program's flowchart-based logic, covering enemy detection, bullet evasion, rear checks, attack selection, and weapon use, main and sub, including special option attacks. The Mark's Broadcasting Station segment features Navichan. She addresses fan questions, including one about creating a Navichan-themed mech, Valkyrie or doll type, and another from a stressed student, offering encouragement and a humorous, certain victory program to alleviate exam stress. The segment concludes with a lighthearted tone and a note about the impending end of the MU Project Execution Committee, and a special upcoming page regarding a project. The article details the international release of Eternal Arcadia, known as Skies of Arcadia, focusing on the North American version. While the core story remains unchanged, the game features English voice acting for key characters like Vi Kreis, Aika, and Fina. The international version underwent some content adjustments, notably alterations to scenes involving alcohol and tobacco. An interview with director Tanaka discusses the complexities of translating the game's extensive text, the team's experience, and the challenges of cultural adjustments. The article also features a comic strip, promotes the official website with downloadable content, and advertises a compatibility diagnosis and the revival of the online Arcadia bulletin board for player interaction. This page is dedicated to fan submissions themed around Sailor's True Face and Sailor's Smile, specifically featuring characters from Eternal Arcadia, known internationally as Skies of Arcadia. Fans have sent in their interpretations of the characters' personalities, with drawings of Vais, Aika, and Fina. Character profiles for Aika are detailed, listing her height, weight, age as 17, birthday as September 3rd, her ship as the Albatross, which becomes the Delphinus, hobbies like drawing, skills like cooking, self-proclaimed, and likes like treasure and delicious food, with dislikes being swimming and ghosts. The page also announces the correct answers and winners of the Little Jack Team 7 Error contest from a previous issue. Finally, there's a section called Sky Space, which is a call for reader submissions in categories such as pirate stories, short stories, and character popularity polls for Skies of Arcadia, offering rare software as prizes for participation. This page is the Tulipio News section, issue 15, focusing on fan submissions and information for Treasure Strike. It highlights fan-submitted illustrations themed around Tulipio Hunters Gathering 2000 Summer Memories and New Year's greetings from different prefectures. The page features a large illustration of various characters, likely submitted by fans, celebrating Net Hunter gatherings. There are also individual New Year's greeting illustrations from fans in Kanagawa, Aichi, Shizuoka, and Mie prefectures, featuring characters in New Year's themed settings. A character file number 15 section introduces Bolts Hakase and Nuts Natu, described as genius young scientist and assistant respectively, from the game Treasure Strike. Character details like height, age, blood type, and birthday are listed. The developers comment on their inspiration from the manga Blackjack and their design choices. A section introduces Yoichi from Toyama Prefecture, with a character image and text hinting at his strong presence in the game, even if not visually featured in the current context. Game details for Treasure Strike are listed, confirming its release date as February 17, 2000, priced at 5,800 yen, 300 points. It is categorized as an action-adventure game supporting 14 players, requiring 24 VM blocks, and is compatible with the Buru Pack and keyboard for communication and versus play. This page reveals the results of the second B Dreamcast Best Dresser Contest. The Grand Prix winner is Cold-Blooded Cat/Snow Vegetables from Chiba Prefecture, praised for their cool and stylish look. Joint semi-Grand Prix winners are Kurei Hatsuki from Tokyo and Yae Sakura from Aichi, both commended for their coordinated and visually appealing outfits. The Kid Award goes to Kyoko from Mie Prefecture, while Hana from Tokyo receives the Well Done Award. Evening Moon Taruan from Tokyo is awarded the Wakanachan Award, recognized for a unique and impactful style, even if unconventional for a dress-up contest. Prizes for the winners include a memory card 4X and a Wakanachan signed illustration card. Additionally, there's a Never 7, The End of Infinity, non-selling goods set being given away as a present. The voice report section shares comments from voters. Lumira from Niigata praised the stylish purple hair and glasses of a contestant. Mayoner from Saitama liked the cool trajectory of the trident and the floating blue effect. HMX1234 from Saitama appreciated the unique atmosphere of a character compared to others. From Hiroshima commented on the slightly scary but fitting Oni, demon, race aesthetic. This page announces the Lawson 21st Century Cup, a mahjong tournament for the Dreamcast game Guru Onsen. It took place from January 25th to 28th, 2001. Prizes included Lawson gift certificates and original straps for top finishers and lucky draw participants. The page also highlights the New Year's event for Guru Onsen, where users gathered online to celebrate. There is an interview with the director of Guru Onsen, who discusses the secrets of the game and answers user questions. The director mentions that he spends the New Year holidays working on the game. Users were encouraged to submit questions and opinions about Guru Onsen to be answered in the magazine and could receive a present. Finally, the page advertises recruitment for the Dreamiga Onsen Union, inviting Dreamcast users to join. Application details, including writing address, name, age, occupation, phone number, and email address on a postcard, and sending it to the Dreamiga Onsen Union Recruitment Office, are provided. The deadline for applications is January 26th. This page from Mailchimp Magazine Volume 18 is a New Year's greeting edition welcoming the 21st century. It kicks off with a celebratory message promising 10 times the fun with network gaming this year. We see a fan art submission in the top right corner featuring a character named Subaru, where the artist, H.N. Tom San, wonders if their artwork was checked and hints at future activities. The page features greetings from the Mailchimp and CDS teams for the new year, expressing their continued presence and willingness to innovate. There are also New Year greetings from the Raspberry 4 and Jet Girls groups, wishing everyone a wonderful year and hoping for dreams to come true in the 21st century. Raspberry 4 members Azusa, Hiyori, and Yoko share their New Year resolutions and wishes for good health. The magazine includes regular sections like Prochi Shogun's Rectification of the World, this time focusing on energy conservation at home, offering tips for staying warm in winter. The manager of Mailchimp sends a New Year greeting, recounting their shrine visit and expressing excitement for the new century. The page also details how readers can submit postcards and emails to the magazine, listing the address and email, and explaining the submission requirements. Finally, the Jet Girls Fierce Question Corner is introduced, where the Jet Girls group will answer readers' questions and offer advice, with the next topic being sickness in their consultation corner. This page introduces Cosmic Smash, a new sensation sports game from Sega Rosso for arcades, described as a fusion of squash and block breaking set in cyberspace. It's highlighted as a single-player game running on the NAOMI arcade board and scheduled for release in January. The game is touted as having simple controls yet deep gameplay, offering a cool and futuristic world setting. Players use shot and jump buttons to break blocks within a time limit across 50 stages, which branch offering varied routes, with difficulty increasing as you progress. Advanced techniques like the Trick Smash and Cosmic Drive are mentioned as ways to achieve higher scores. The page emphasizes the simple yet engaging gameplay centered around the pleasure of breaking blocks and encourages players to experience the game's cool sound design. Screenshots showcase the futuristic game environment and block formations from stages named OMOCHI, FUSUMA, SIKORO, and KIDOU. This page is the WOW Entertainment official page, and it covers a few topics. First up is a report on the 4th Sega Marine Fishing Tournament, with results showing the winner caught a 121.72 kilograms marlin, just slightly bigger than the second-place catch. Prizes are mentioned for the winners, including a black overseas Dreamcast console. Next, there is a new release announcement for Wild Riders, an arcade game slated for release soon. It's described as a bike action game for one player, using the NAOMI 2 board. The game features crazy rider action with anime-style graphics and polygon visuals, and it looks like you play as an outlaw biker escaping the police. Gameplay involves simple controls, but advanced actions like jumps and slides activated by pulling or pushing the handle. Finally, under Flashback Products, it revisits Cool Riders, a 1994 bike racing game by WOW, formerly AM1. It mentions this earlier game is related to Wild Riders. Cool Riders is described as a comical race game set around the world with strange characters and backgrounds, with the music being based on Born to be Wild. Staff comments reflect on the transition from 2D to 3D graphics in game development and the challenges of incorporating real footage into games. There's also a section for reader submissions, inviting illustrations and questions for the Teach Me Nakagawa-san corner. The Hitmaker official page Volume 4 highlights the release of Sega on March 29th, a business simulation game for one player, sold exclusively through D-Direct. The regular edition costs 5,800 yen, and the limited first edition is 9,800 yen. The game features Sagata Taru, a 15-year-old student voiced by Junko Noda, chosen to be Sega's savior. Hailing from Kurashiki City, he's described as pure-hearted, with a love for Alex Kidd, the Lost Stars. The page includes a voice memo about Noda's numerous shouting scenes and the importance of the Alex Kidd song. A points section reveals that the character design was by Ueno Ken, who had to revise it after the president of Oguchisha disapproved of the initial design. The page also showcases game screenshots, character art, and the protagonist's catchphrase, "This is me, who will save Sega." This page from Hitmaker official page Volume 5 continues to promote Sega and introduces Arisa, the secretary character voiced by Hisako Kanemoto, who is designed to support the player. Arisa is described as beautiful and capable, and her favorite game is Girl's Garden. The page also features a monster encyclopedia section showcasing a monster called Takiba Kiba, a versatile designer monster, and another character called Veteran. It highlights that Sega will include emulated Sega Master System games, specifically mentioning Doki Doki Penguin Land and Nazca 88. Doki Doki Penguin Land is described as an action puzzle game, and Nazca 88 as an action shooting game. There's a points section, quoting Mr. Zulgale, commenting on the character designer Ueno-san, drawing Arisa with large breasts intentionally. In an urgent report, the release date for Sega is officially announced as March 29th, with pre-orders available through D-Direct and information about first edition bonuses. Finally, there's a recruitment of believers section calling for fans to become Sega believers and spread the word about the game, directing them to the official website. The next page is a strategy guide for Stage 2 Forio in Planet Harriers. This cooperative 3D shooting game from Sega/Amusement Vision supports 12 players. The guide provides gameplay tips, stating in Point 1 to dodge widely from enemy attacks, especially in the forest sections. Point 2 advises using bombs generously when enemies appear from the lake. Point 3 recommends calm vertical movements to evade enemy fire in the cave section after the lake. The strategy for the Stage 2 boss, Cyclobur, involves chasing and attacking its eye. A check section highlights an opportunity to earn extra gold by targeting small eye enemies. Finally, Shop Advice recommends purchasing the Lock-on-Sight Large power-up. Planet Harrier's Stage 3 Lava strategy focuses on terrain awareness and evasion. Key tips include using W-lock-on for more gold, especially in co-op, and using the red button to change the viewpoint for better projectile spotting. Prioritize hit-and-run tactics over solely relying on W-lock-on due to increased enemy intensity. Clear enemies above before searching for items below rocky platforms. Attack enemies preemptively, especially cam-like foes, and use bombs if health is low. Purchase the twin-shot weapon upgrade in the shop for the Horus Phoenix boss. Defeat summoned enemies before attacking the main boss, utilizing W-lock-on effectively, particularly in co-op. Hidden items include 4 emergency kits and a bomb at the base of the central pillar during the boss fight. This page from Arcade Express Volume 80 of the magazine presents a feature on the 3D fighting game Bloody Roar 3. The page highlights the game as the third installment in the Superfast 3D fighting series, noting its popularity in Europe and America. The beastification system is explained as a core mechanic where players can transform into beasts by pressing the Beast button after accumulating the Beast gauge. Transforming enhances attack power and defense and can even recover some health. However, if the gauge depletes during Beast form or the character is knocked down, the transformation ends. The game uses the System 246 arcade board. It also introduces 6 characters: Yugo the Wolf, Alice the Rabbit, Ron the Tiger, Bakuryu the Mole, Uriko the Cat, and Marvel the Leopard, each with a short description of their backstory and fighting style. Screenshots demonstrate the gameplay and character transformations. This page continues the feature on Bloody Roar 3, highlighting several new game mechanics. It introduces Super Beastification, which is achieved when the Beast gauge is full, allowing for command cancelable attacks and faster health recovery compared to normal beastification. The Beast Drive is presented as a powerful special move that uses the Beast gauge, emphasizing its significant damage potential and dramatic presentation. The page also details the air combo system, explaining that players can now initiate aerial follow-up attacks by pressing up on the lever after launching an opponent into the air, giving an advantage to characters skilled in aerial combat. A defensive mechanic called Giri Escape is described, which allows players to negate opponent attacks by inputting a specific command, lever towards opponent plus guard button, just before being hit, offering a way to counter and turn the tide of battle. Finally, the page showcases character profiles for Gato, Jenny, Stun, Busuzima, Shenlong, and Xion, providing brief descriptions of their backgrounds and fighting styles. A Namco comment section praises Bloody Roar 3 as a deeply evolved 3D fighting game with engaging gameplay and character variety, built on the System 246 arcade board. The comment concludes with a question encouraging players to consider what they would do if they could use Super Beastification for 12 seconds in real life, noting it's a one-time only ability in a lifetime. This page presents a character introduction section and a comic strip called Guru Creature, Episode 30. Worried about that person's. The character introduction details 5 characters. Guru, a first-grade elementary school student aspiring to be a scientist who enjoys making creatures, and the Fuku Zawa series, Usagi, a rabbit-shaped creature with human-level intelligence and mature senses. Aoi-san is described as Guru's assistant and has a gentle personality. Dandy-kun is the first beetle-type creature Guru created and is intelligent, originating from the constellation Sagittarius. Lastly, Devil is Guru's pet, a souvenir from Okinawa, said to bring happiness and be a guardian deity, though its effects are unclear. The comic strip seems to depict Guru, Usagi, Aoi-san, and Devil sitting around a kotatsu, possibly eating mandarin oranges or similar fruit. The dialogue appears to be lighthearted and conversational, with Usagi being asked to pass something, Guru mentioning that something is not reaching, and Aoi-san saying something is cute. Devil is also present in the comic. The bottom right section appears to be a reader's corner, possibly fan mail, mentioning Mr. Kuno and Koniko-chan. This page presents the weekly Dreamcast horoscope section, covering January 19th to 25th. It provides astrological readings for all 12 zodiac signs, each with a lucky color and item, and cartoon illustrations. There's also a column by Hakosaki Nidamama, and a lucky person section for those born on January 27th, naming White Illuminatin Kawamura Gen as this week's lucky person. This page showcases a reader prize giveaway from Dreamcast Magazine. There are various prizes to be won, including a Seaman desk calendar, available to 10 winners, and a Dreamcast-compatible software prize, where 15 lucky winners can request any Dreamcast game released before January 26, 2001. Other prizes include a Sega Ichi keychain figure set for 5 winners, and a signed clear file featuring Dream Girl Midori Komachi for 5 winners. You can also win an original Dreamcast business card case and an original Dreamcast Magazine t-shirt, both for 10 winners each. The grand prize is a Dreamaga table calendar best telecard for Eternal Arcadia, Skies of Arcadia, with 25 winners for this rare item, as only 100 were made. Looking ahead to the next issue on February 9th, it will feature Dreamcast GD Volume 10, including special movies for Shenmue 2, Eldorado Gate, and Gaga Gaga, as well as playable demos or previews for Handheld Sword, Battle Beater, Ultimate Fighting Championship, and Arrow Dancing Eye. The issue highlights upcoming Dreamcast titles and teases Shenmue, the movie. There is also a mention of Canvas Sepia color motif. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Never 7, The End of Infinity, described as a romance-adventure game that is currently on sale. The standard price is listed as 6,800 yen, excluding tax. The advert highlights that the game explores the concept of infinity and directs readers to the KID homepage for more details. The illustration features several anime-style characters, who are presumably from the game. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Macross M3, announcing its release date as February 22, 2001, priced at 6,800 yen. The advert details a first limited lucky card campaign, where buyers can win prizes. The grand prize, the Macross prize, offers a 1/24th scale VF-1 S-Fighter Valkyrie model to one winner. The Max prize includes a Macross Complete Transformation Series VF-11B Thunderbolt model for 50 winners. The Miria prize features plastic models of VF-1A, VF-1J, and VF-1S for 150 winners, with 50 winners for each model type. Lastly, the Moriramiya prize is the Macross M3 Soundfile Mini Soundtrack CD for 100 winners. The advert also includes screenshots from the game.